My Sony PlayStation Showcase predictions are long overdue, and given how quiet Sony has been, we actually have a lot to look forward to. And we actually have breaking information, a PlayStation leak about the PlayStation Q Lite from Insider Gaming, and we're going to be talking about that in this show. I put all of the good information right here at the beginning of the stream, so that way you don't have to go searching for it. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell button so you don't miss my shows. So the Sony Showcase continues to get speculation, leaks, as well as guesswork, and I want to make some predictions as well as lay out some of my own expectations as to what we will get from the show. And yes, the PlayStation Q Lite leak that dropped from Insider Gaming, I will include that in this showcase because many people are wondering why on earth would PlayStation be making a handheld? Why would they be getting into that market? So first, I want to discuss the timing and the potential dates of when I think the PlayStation Showcase will be happening. Second, I want to discuss the possibility of another state of play before the showcase happens. Many people are worried, are we going to get another state of play or not? Third, let's predict the games that will be there. There's some that we are very confident will be there, but we also are very curious about all these live service games that are supposed to be coming from PlayStation. Fourth, I want to think about the PSVR 2's role in the showcase because it hasn't had the strongest start this year. Are they going to include it in their big annual showcase? Fifth, we do need to talk about this piece of hardware, this PlayStation Q Lite leak. What does this mean? Is it cloud gaming? What exactly are you going to be able to do with this thing? And lastly, the new SKU, the new PlayStation 5 with a detachable drive, will it be included? That's everything that's going to be in this video. Now, before we get into the timing and the potential dates of the PlayStation Showcase, remember that Jeff Grubb had the following to say, quote, "They're saving their good stuff for the PlayStation Showcase. That's going to happen before E3. It was supposed to happen last fall, but they keep pushing it back because the developers weren't ready." Well, E3 getting canceled doesn't really hurt Jeff Grubb's info. E3 was supposed to happen, and he was just talking about the timing of this is going to happen before E3. E3 was going to happen in June prior to its cancellation. You know, Jeff Keighley is now our E3. Thank you, Jeff. And the Summer Games Fest has dates and has a schedule already. Keep in mind, Jeff also said that, quote, "Now that those developers are ready, they should have a massive show that really sets up the second phase of the PlayStation 5. So he recently tweeted that the Sony Showcase will be happening before Summer Games Fest. So he's basically saying the same thing. He's just using a different sort of landmark to get our minds around when this is actually going to be happening. So this is going to be the backdrop of my predictions today, especially with respect to some of my game appearance predictions, like what's going to be there. In light of what Jeff Grubb said, I'm going to be considering all of that. So let's just speculate about the timing. Summer Games Fest is now the go-to event for, gaming news and announcements in the summer. No more E3. And it kicks off on June the 8th, which is a Thursday, really similar to last year. And last year, Sony did a state of play in June, and it was on June the 2nd. It was like right at the beginning. They had all the Summer Game Fest logos and on their announcements. PlayStation is also listed as an official partner of the Summer Game Fest event if you go to the website. So June 2nd was the first Thursday in June last year, and this year that would land on June 1st. And last year, Summer Games Fest was on June 9th. So we're talking about a 1 or 2 day difference from last year, right? June 8th and 9th. And I think given that they had that state of play as sort of the unofficial Summer Games Fest kickoff, I could see June 1st being a great date, especially with June 11th. That's kind of the end of Summer Game Fest, right? Not the official end, but it kind of feels like the end. That's the Microsoft Showcase followed by the Starfield Showcase. So you could kind of have Sony and Microsoft bookending Summer Game Fest. Now, there is also the possibility of June 6th or the 7th. They could do that Tuesday or Wednesday right before things kick off on the Thursday. But I think Sony probably likes the idea of having a solid week of just them kind of dominating the press cycle while everybody's sort of waiting for Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest to kick off. So it would basically be just a week of Sony. All of their announcements, all of their trailers would be getting combed over, reaction videos, articles, and the like. This, of course, leads to the question, will there be a state of play before June? My guess is, and I'm not an industry insider, I'm just guessing based on previous years and kind of what I've noticed from Sony, I don't think we're going to get a state of play before June unless it's something relatively small with indie titles, all right? The only major thing they could do a state of play around would be maybe the new SKU of the PlayStation 5 with a detachable drive, but I would imagine they would want to include that in the showcase. That's a pretty big announcement. They might even be able to announce a price decrease with that change because that's going to lower production costs, all right? So if they do a state of play, they only have basically, the rest of April and May. I would imagine they would want to announce it very soon, and I would imagine it would be something more small, more low-key, more indie-focused. Given the reaction to the PSVR 2 state of play, I could see them saying it's better that we just stay quiet and shove everything into the showcase or kick a state of play to be after the showcase. Because right now, if you do a weaker state of play about indie titles and stuff, you're probably going to irritate people. Sony's been pretty quiet. Remember, Jeff Grubb said that this showcase was supposed to be happening end of last year, but the developers weren't ready, and it's been kicked to this year, and it's going to be pretty massive, the second phase of PlayStation. Well, a great way to kick off that second phase is to not have a weak state of play. Just make everybody wait for this sort of Summer Game Fest moment. So that leads to the next big question that basically I think everybody cares about is what games are we going to see? Remember that Jeff Grubb said they're saving the good stuff. It's going to be a, quote, massive show. And the most obvious prediction, this isn't really a prediction, it's almost guaranteed to be there, would be Spider-Man 2. The rumor of a September release date from the Venom voice actor Tony Todd spoke to marketing timing. It would make sense then that you would really want Spider-Man 2 to have a presence at the summer showcase, the PlayStation Showcase. Now, even if Tony Todd got it wrong and it's not coming out in September, listen, it's still coming in the fourth quarter of this year. They've said that, so it would be one of the center stage showcases at this event. I would imagine we would get a good amount of gameplay, and then between now and then, some Sony blogs about how they've improved the game, maybe even give it its own state of play like they did for God of War and Horizon Forbidden West, kind of give it its own time. Actually, I don't think they did that with God of War. We all thought they were going to, and they tacked it on to the end of something. But those blogs and all that great information and trickle out all that gameplay. I believe we will also get a new trailer for Wolverine. I'm wearing a Wolverine X-Men shirt today with Omega Red. If you like it, check out 80stees.com and use code LONO. Little plug there. But yeah, I think you're going to see a new trailer for Wolverine. I would imagine it's not going to be gameplay. It would probably be another cinematic trailer, maybe even an extended version of the cinematic trailer we've already seen. Just let us see Logan, show his claws, show his hand, pan the camera up, let him say something. That might be enough to just remind everybody, hey, we're making Wolverine, as well as, get everybody excited about what Logan looks like. And, it keeps Wolvie on our radar. Another pretty obvious prediction would be Final Fantasy 16, given its June 22nd release date, right? Final Fantasy 16 is going to be one of the bigger games of the summer, even though it's only on PS5. It's highly anticipated. Yoshi P's really promoting this and hyping it up. They just did a bunch of stuff at PAX. So I would imagine Final Fantasy 16 would be a part of this showcase, significant showing, maybe new gameplay. I would imagine maybe they even saved some things just for, the Sony showcase this summer. And I'm going to include a long shot, all right? I'm going to do a long shot prediction here. Maybe they hint at or announce or show off the Atreus offshoot game that many of us think that we are going to get. Not a sequel to God of War, not another God of War, but like an Atreus style game that's like $40 or something. A lot of us think that that's on the horizon or in the works. Maybe they announce it, maybe they do a teaser. So in addition to all of these game announcements, I also think we will likely see some PC port announcements as well. I know that's a sore subject. The Last of Us is in bad shape, but I do think they're going to want to announce some PC ports. I'm really hoping for Ghost of Tsushima. to get one. I previously predicted in another stream about, more PlayStation PC games in 2023. They had that live from PS5 trailer, and I said, well, what if everything in this trailer is having some kind of an update or something happening this year? Like Horizon Forbidden West is getting its DLC. That's just around the corner. Returnal came to PC. Last of Us came to PC. Ghost of Tsushima could come to PC. I could see that. Maybe Horizon Forbidden West gets an announcement. Maybe Burning Shores is their only plans DLC, and with Burning Shores out of the way after a couple of months, they could say, hey, we can't wait to bring all this great content to PC. That could be another one. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, there's rumors circling around that game. I do know they use the data controller of the PS5 in a unique way, so there might be some challenges there with some of the stuff they did there in the gameplay. And I will do another long shot prediction. I think that God of War Ragnarok will come to PC probably faster than any other title has. There was an interview with Herman Hulst where he said the earliest you would see a game do that is 12 months. I could see them doing that this holiday season with God of War Ragnarok. You launch Spider-Man in September or October, and then late November, December, you get to bring God of War Ragnarok to PC. God of War 2018 was their most successful PC port up to now, and then there was interviews where one of the developers said they actually changed some of their pipeline development for God of War Ragnarok in light of things they learned about bringing God of War 2018 to PC. So it would come faster technologically. They could be able to do that, and they may have good reason to bring it faster than the other titles. So that's a long shot, though. I'm just kind of throwing that one out there for fun. Now, under game announcements, right, I do think it's time that we hear about these live service games. They said 10 live service games by 2025, 12 live service games by 2026. I don't know why they threw out two totals, but there you go, right? So 12 live service games by 2026. That's 3 years from now. You better get cooking, right? You got 3 years. That's basically, 2 a year if you space it out that evenly. I actually predict that we will see a handful of live service games. At the most, 3 or 4. Probably on the low end, though, maybe 2 or 3. Again, they need to start launching these. They need to start getting these out the door. I could see 1 or 2 launching this year. They've got time left. They could launch 1 or 2 second half of this year, and then 2 or 3 next year, right? That gets you into the 4 or 5 range, which leaves the remaining 5 to 6 on the upwards, right? If they do a little bit the next couple of years, maybe 8 titles would need to launch by the end of 2026, which is about 3 to 4 per year, okay? So they've got to start to get these out, or they're not going to make good on their promise. I know folks are going to roll their eyes at live service and think, oh yeah, live service. Listen, a lot of live service games are on the horizon. A lot of games are going to be coming out in that vein. It's not a matter of are live service games automatically bad or good. It's a matter of which ones are worth your time and worth playing. I don't even think all of these will survive. I would imagine most of these won't. You'll probably have a handful of standouts. Now, many people will also roll their eyes at this, but I do think you need more PSVR 2 first-party titles, right? It's not PC compatible. I know why they did that. It makes sense. You don't want somebody spending $550 on a PlayStation VR system and then playing something outside of their quality control. You play a game on Steam or some other place where there's VR games and they're bad or don't run well. Maybe they're not optimized for the PSVR 2, and you think, I wasted $550 on this piece of junk. Well, because of that, they need to establish their own VR ecosystem. I think Call of the Mountain is impressive. It's beautiful. I don't think the gameplay was that good. Way too much climbing. Literally was tired after playing it, both physically and mentally. Like, is this all I'm going to be doing is climbing? I thought the combat was surprisingly good. So I actually think they need to do that. They really need to bring some PSVR 2 heat. I think it's a great device. I think the games are great, but you need first-party titles. It's your VR, so create the ecosystem. Last section will be about hardware. And this is where things get a little weird, right? There was this new hardware rumor from Tom Henderson. Tommy Hendy's like talking on a stream, and he lets it out that there's something coming that they haven't reported on. Well, boom, I woke up this morning, and I had to add this to my rundown. According to InsiderGaming.com, codenamed the Q Lite, the next PlayStation handheld, is the next piece of Sony hardware that aims to be yet another piece of hardware that requires the PlayStation 5. Insider Gaming understands that the Q Lite is not a cloud streaming device, but instead uses remote play with the PlayStation 5, a feature the console giant has been pushing these past couple of weeks. Now, it's not a cloud streaming device, but that's essentially cloud gaming in essence, right? You're out and about, you need an internet connection, and your PS5 needs to be on at home and also on the internet. So you're not using cloud, gaming services, but you are essentially doing what cloud gaming feels like. You're out and about, you need to be on the internet, latency could mess with it, it might not run that well, right? So what do we know about it? Well, it's going to have adaptive streaming up to 1080 60, and the device will require constant connectivity to the internet. That's where it's going to, in essence, feel like cloud gaming, right? That'll probably be a deal breaker for some. People will be like, why on earth would I want to do that? But PlayStation Remote Play, I think, could be making a play and a dig into cloud gaming. They could basically launch this, get everybody using it, and then turn on cloud gaming. So maybe you don't need your PS5 on. Maybe they could start synchronizing it with anything that maybe you own on your PC as well, because they're putting PlayStation games there as well. Cloud gaming needs internet infrastructure to not suck. Cloud gaming has a bright future, but it's bottlenecked by a stagnant internet infrastructure in America. Thanks for all that wonderful internet consolidation that took place. They've done nothing the last 10 years. They basically stole $400 billion. But hey, consolidation's great. Keep in mind, though, in the realm of internet speed, Japan broke the record for fastest internet speed in 2021, trying to push the envelope there. Now, Japan doesn't rank very well globally if you look at their average speed, but the culture of Japan, the Asian culture, is embracing cloud and mobile gaming on the go. The Nintendo Switch already has almost 20 cloud gaming games on its platform. So this could be a huge hit in Asian markets or Japan, where cloud and mobile gaming are more adopted. According to Statista.com, the cloud gaming market in Japan is valued at 1.53 billion yen, and it's expected to increase to almost 13.8 billion yen by 2024. So it's going to go from about 1.5 billion to almost 14 billion. Do you see this giant blue bar? That's 2024. And then the little bar 3 over there, that 433, that's like last year. Look at how fast it's supposed to grow. Now, I know somebody's going to say, but remote play isn't cloud gaming. That doesn't really matter. If the culture and the people are embracing cloud gaming on the go, then this would be something that you would say, hey, I would like to have that. I can play my PlayStation 5 games wherever I go as long as I have a good internet connection, and you just have to leave your PlayStation on sleep mode or whatever, so you can turn it on. PlayStation could be making a smart move with this device if it's adopted in those markets. America might look at this and say, this is the stupidest thing ever. Why would I do this? We haven't really embraced that gaming on the go culture. As for the console's physical features, according to InsiderGaming.com, early prototypes show the console will look a lot like a PlayStation 5 controller, but with a massive 8-inch LCD touchscreen in the center. The device sports adaptive triggers for haptic feedback and will include what you would come to expect from a handheld: volume button, speakers, audio jack, etc. So keep in mind, this isn't cloud gaming, but it kind of is, and it requires a PS5, all right? So people are going to say, why on earth would I want to do this? You just have to remember the PS5 has done very well in the Japanese and other Asian markets. This could be a great upsell to people in those markets who are like, look, cloud and mobile gaming's totally chill. I like the game on the go. I like to bring my games with me, all right? So I don't know if this thing's going to do that well in the West, but it could be a hit in markets outside of here. Now, the second thing they're likely to discuss is the new PlayStation 5 unified SKU with a detachable drive, and they'll show it off, all right? Maybe an update for the DualSense Edge controller. Maybe they'll talk about that. Who knows? That thing, they haven't said much about it. I have one. I think it's nice, but they haven't said much since. So those are my showcase predictions. I'm hoping for a solid showing and clarity on not just upcoming games, but the future of those live service games as well. And that little handheld, you're going to have to work hard to sell people on it. So let me give you my thoughts and my conclusions. The timing of the PlayStation Showcase is likely going to be in relation to Summer Game Fest again, and a state of play before that I think is harder to predict given how much benefit they probably would get by saying nothing all the way up to the showcase. Doing a mid-state of play would probably tick people off because the PSVR 2 showcase didn't really go over all that well, even though it made sense. Hey, you just launched this piece of hardware, you better do something about it, and it's also like the slowest quarter of the year. So they set the PSVR 2 up for a slow start. Everybody's been kind of dunking on the PSVR 2, but you have to remember it launched in the slowest quarter of the year, and it's only available in the PlayStation Store. I just watched a video this morning. Doc Dark tried out the Quest 2, and he could do it with his kids in a store. Well, until the PSVR 2 has that level of integration into the sales markets, you're probably not going to see good adoption rates. So I would imagine right now is not a great time to have another mid-level state of play because people would say, what are you guys doing? Because the PSVR 2 state of play didn't go over that well. The second thing I'd like to say is my biggest question mark is all these live service games that need to start landing if they're going to keep their timeline intact, right? Unlike Xbox, who's like, hey, all these games are coming out in the next 12 months, and slowly but surely a bunch of those games are just falling off, whether it's Starfield or Forza Motorsport or Arc 2. Those are pretty big titles to not make good on your promises. So Sony walks out and says, we're going to do 10 or 12 live service games by 2026. You better get to work because you're going to run out of time. And what are you going to put them all in the same time? It's going to be hard for live service games to get traction if they all launch really, really close to each other. You need people to have a chance to play them and get into the funnel and get into the habits. You can't launch a live service game every month. You'd murder all of the earlier ones. They would just cannibalize each other. It's unlikely that we're going to get 10 to 12 games that are roaring successes within the live service market. I bet you 3 or 4 make it, and then there's 1 or 2 standouts. And that's not amazing odds, but that's generally how live service games go. Third, the PlayStation Q Lite will need to convince people that it's worth it, but it might not have to. It could be hitting a market that is ready and willing to game on the go that already owns a PlayStation 5. Price point, however, will be a big factor. So here's my conclusion. Sony's silence should not be taken as weakness for 2023, especially in light of what Jeff Grubb has said. I wouldn't say that the beginning of 2023 has been a very strong start. The PSVR 2 appeals to a very small market, and it has not started off very strong. Returnal did fine on PC with its port, but it didn't get the splash that I hoped for. Didn't help that they used Epic Online Services for the co-op, and it freaked everybody out. They thought that Epic Game Store had been ghost installed, so it got review bombed on the first day. That's never a good start for your game. And then the Last of Us PC port literally fell on its face. So Sony's not looking too hot right now, and I think the best way to calm all the rumors that they're in trouble or things are bad is probably to wait and do everything at this showcase in the summer. If I'm Sony, I would put a lot of bomb-sized eggs in June's basket and pull out all the stops, because June is when 2023 heats up, and you don't want to be left out in the cold. That's the show open. Thank you guys so much for being here. I was super paranoid. I'm accidentally streaming on Spectrum, and that's not intentional. And yeah, we've already dropped frames over on Kick, but we thankfully haven't dropped any frames on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching over on Kick, Easy Rip, and Crinab, Brain Eclipse, and Wired Rope. Thank you guys so much. We can start off the day with a little friendly competition. That's yesterday. You guys crushed it. Let's start off the day with a little friendly competition between Kick and YouTube. YouTube typically absolutely crushes this and hits the 25 first. And we're having an enormous sale on our coffee. The Frickmas is the lowest that it has ever been. It's $12.95. And if you are a member, you can get a buy two, get one free, but you got to get into our Discord, all right? We're doing the same thing on our light roast. Move through this inventory. It's going fast. The dark roast is basically gone. So snag this while you can. It's going to go hot. Hollow's going to kick off the day. Wastes no time putting 5 gifted members on the board. What's good, Chris Toast? Good to see you. Threw you a follow on Twitter last night. I was watching you go back and forth with somebody about VR, and I was like, oh, cool, VR content. Hollow, thank you so much for 5 gifted members, man. I really appreciate that. It goes to Lazaro, Jamie, Waynes, Michael Wood, and Point by Point. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, it is totally free to hit the like button, and it helps this video find more people. So be sure to do that. If you're watching on the Tickety Talk, thank you so much for giving us 1,000 likes over there. We appreciate it so much. We are streaming in 3 different locations, and you can watch and listen as well as listen to the Discord if you are a member. You could get a Vita on the cheap and play most PS4 games via cloud connection. Right, and here's the thing, though. I do think the culture has shifted to support this kind of thing more, right? I do. I think people are more, especially in the Japanese market, especially in an Asian market, I think they're more ready to say, hey, gaming on the go is dope. Like, look at Switch saturation, okay? I think they're more like, yeah, that's not too bad, right? I'm dying to see Ghost of Tsushima 2. Oh, I didn't even want to put that energy out there for disappointment, right? Right? Good morning to anyone except PayPal hackers. Oof, that's not good. Like, I think that, again, I think this thing could be a hit in markets that have embraced gaming on the go. Like, we have not embraced gaming on the go to the same degree. Nintendo Switch saturation in America is nowhere near what it is in Japan, right? I want them to make a DualSense controller for mobile. You can pair your DualSense controller with an iPad via Bluetooth. I did it. I was playing Diablo Immortal with a DualSense. That is possible, but it's not for mobile, right? You just need the Bluetooth peripheral to connect. And that means they have to update it. Yo, perfect image with a $5 tip. Did you read that COD Mobile will leave after Warzone Mobile when the deal goes through? No one's talking about that. What's your take? What do you mean nobody's talking about that? I talked about that in one of my live streams. I said Microsoft basically admitted that they're going to get rid of Call of Duty Mobile, turn it into Warzone Mobile, which means all those mobile stores who are currently enjoying Call of Duty would no longer have a Call of Duty Mobile. They basically admitted it. That's not what today's about, though, so that's all you're getting from me. Dippy Narwhal with a $2 super chat tip. Needing Wi-Fi for portable gaming makes 0 sense. But again, gaming on the go and cloud gaming is getting a rise. Did you see this frickin' chart? Japan alone is going to go from, in 2020, 1.5 billion yen in cloud gaming up to almost 14 billion. That level of growth is just for cloud gaming in their market. So they see their market adapting, and embracing cloud gaming. And if there's one thing we know about how the Japanese market handles that type of thing, I bet you see the government start to push the infrastructure forward. We need our internet to be better. We need our internet to be faster. They broke the top internet speed record in 2021. I don't know if they still hold that record, but they're anticipating tons of money going into that market. D-Tom with 19 months. Thank you so much for a member plus. 14 billion yen is 110 million USD. Now, yeah, you might think that, like, oh, well, 14 billion yen's not much. It's not about the total. It's about the growth. You can't think of it in that way. 1.5 billion yen is nothing, and it's going to go up to 14 billion in just 4 years. That's a big leap. Those are big jumps, and I would imagine that sets a trajectory for future growth as well beyond 2024. They're looking at their market, and they're anticipating cloud gaming is going to grow. It's going to grow big. And I don't know if Sony's privy to that. If Sony's looking at those estimations and says, listen, we already have remote play infrastructure built. That's quasi-cloud gaming. It's not cloud gaming, but it kind of is. And then you're basically able to play the game. It's going to be running on your PlayStation 5. Now, maybe that's one of the reasons that they don't want to get into cloud gaming. Because look at the trouble you're having with PC ports. Because they build something that like runs specifically and is coded and optimized for the PS5 hardware, and then all of a sudden you're going to start throwing it on the cloud. So in my mind, this could be, what are you all doing? And then in 2 years, we're like, oh, we get it now. it exploded. Like, I think a lot of people to this day do not take the Nintendo Switch serious, and they have no idea that it is a leviathan. It is enormous in the market. People do not take the Nintendo Switch serious at all. When it came out, everybody didn't take it serious. Like, what the frick? Who's going to play on that? Who's going to buy that? And here we sit. With Doug Bowser recently saying they think they can get a couple more years out of it, right? Anthony Oakley with a $5 Super Chat tip. I'm predicting that Factions 2 will be shown at the showcase and announce a beta alpha that comes out at the end of 2023. Oh, I forgot about the Last of Us Factions game. Yes, that will likely be there. You're probably correct. Good guess. As a truck driver, I look forward to remote cloud gaming taking off. Did you see my Billy Ray Kestis, truck driver by day, Jedi welder by night tweet? I thought it was pretty funny. Oh, man. Thanks for watching over there on Kick. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching over here on YouTube. We just hit 500 viewers on YouTube. Make sure you guys are smashing the like button. PlayStation Showcase 2023 predictions. We are kind of talking about the PlayStation Q Lite. It's basically going to be a PlayStation handheld that needs your PlayStation 5 and an internet connection. Now, the first thing people are probably going to think is, can I only play this thing in my home? No, that wouldn't make any sense. Anything from Sony Bend? I don't know how long Sony Bend's been working on their new project, because they got shot down for Days Gone sequel and they got tasked to work on something else, and I don't know what it is. Can't wait to play Zelda Tears of the Frames. That's pretty good. The majority of developers don't want to be pushing into the cloud at the moment due to the wide inconsistencies with connectivity. Yeah, here's the thing, though. I think we're seeing movement. You're seeing movement with cloud. There currently, and there could be more, I researched this morning, so there could be more than this. There's currently 19 cloud games for Nintendo Switch, right? Sony looking at that saying, well, they're doing cloud gaming. What if we just had a remote play device? We don't need to do cloud gaming. We don't need to use that infrastructure. We can just use internet and remote play. I was one of the biggest Stadia fans, but I've always said the answer to cloud gaming is remote play, so I'm happy to see PlayStation pushing it harder. I did a Stadia versus remote play video, and wow. Whoa. Cowboy, my man. Lay it on me. Why did you conclude that remote play was so much better? Why did you say that that's the answer to cloud gaming? What number one, why was the experience so different? Do you know? What was the experience difference, and why are you saying that? 5G will be great in 3 years. A $5 tip from Scott Woodford, thank you. Techno Tyrant says, I said it more so because it's an unfamiliar currency to a lot of people. Equivalent growth in US dollars would be 11 million to 110 million in 4 years. Yeah, right. Like, imagine some industry saying, hey, right now we're only seeing about $11 million in this industry, but in 4 years, it's going to be at 110 million. Would you look at that and say, oh, it's only 110 million? No, you'd say that's pretty good growth. Almost the Elite PS Plus is on cloud. That's why it's odd to me that this is not a cloud device. What if cloud comes later, though, Eugene? There's nothing to say. If this device is equipped with internet, if it's equipped with Wi-Fi connectivity, it can add cloud later. All they got to do is push out a software update and boom. Oh, hey, look, there's cloud. I can play some of the PS Plus cloud games right now. I don't even need to be, my PlayStation 5 doesn't even have to be on. Who knows? Tommy Hendy over there at Insider Gaming, he might not even have all of the info. That could be part of the plan. You can play any of your PS5 games remote, and any of the games on the PS Plus that are on the cloud, yeah, you can play those. You don't even need your PS5 to be on. It's just going to use the cloud. Because it'll have an internet connection, so I don't see why they couldn't do that. Now, again, I've always said the biggest bottleneck for cloud gaming is internet infrastructure. America's so woefully behind thanks to all that glorious consolidation. Would imagine the device has Wi-Fi connectivity. Yeah, because it says that it needs an internet connection to work. Basically, your PS5 is going to turn on, and it's going to play, and you're going to be playing over the internet on your PS5, basically. It's like when you do remote play on Steam. I lean towards his source being inaccurate in that regard. Yo, John Tebow is going to gift a member and push the member goal a little bit closer. If you've never been here and you're enjoying the show, you might get a gifted membership. If you watch on a regular basis, jump in on your own and become a member. We would love to see that. And it goes to the Singer Bro. Cowboy's giving me an update here. He says the biggest advantage of remote play, the biggest downfall of cloud gaming is games. With remote play, you can play the games you own, but with cloud gaming, you have to hope the games you like come. That's a great point that Cowboy's making. Instead of getting this device and being like, well, now I have to cross my fingers and hope for a game to get cloud gaming support. Nope. Any game you own, you can play. Let's say you go to work, and let's say you live in Japan, and where you work has really, really good Wi-Fi, and where you live has, it's good. It's good internet. Okay, your PlayStation 5 turns on at your house, and you're sitting there playing Ghost of Tsushima or Ratchet and Clank in the office right there. And if the internet connection is good, it should be fine. Now, it's going to be 60 FPS 1080, so it's not going to blow your mind, but that's actually pretty good, I would imagine, for remote play. That's pretty good for, gaming on the go. Nice shirt, Lono. Thank you. This is an X-Men shirt. We got Wolverine fighting with Omega Red. If you like this shirt, it comes from 80s Tees. You can use my code over there and get a discount. And we're also running that huge coffee sale. Let me see if we've gotten any coffee orders today. Again, if you're a member, get in the Discord. You can scroll all the way down and you can get that code. We're doing a buy two, get one free. And the Frickmas has never been this cheap. We're running it for like $11.95. $5 tip from Hollow. If all it takes is a press and hold of two buttons to connect your DualSense to mobile games, you can expect compatibility with this new handheld. Yeah, I would say so. I can't connect. We've already had 2 orders of coffee this morning. Baker with the buy 2, get 1 free on the Frickmas. That's an amazing deal. It's basically like $26 for 3 bags of coffee, and a buy 2, get 1 for Baker. Did you do 2 orders? Holy moly, Baker. Get it. Move through that coffee. Yeah, the Frickmas is $12.95. Thank you. Nintendo has always been a powerhouse when it comes to on-the-go gaming. The PS Vita tried and failed. Do you think this new hardware is doomed, or will it be able to compete with Nintendo? Yo, Colby, thanks for sending a rose over here on the Tickety Talk. And we've gotten 6 gifted members on YouTube. Kick, you can try to beat them today. Today's the day to do it if you're going to try to get 25 members before YouTube gets to 25 members. Zubair says, I can imagine it's being more useful for gaming on the couch on fast home Wi-Fi. Right, but depending on where you live, my question would be, mobile gaming and Wi-Fi and internet infrastructure in Asian countries, is it better, faster, more endemic because that's what everybody's doing? Even like gaming cafes, they're going to have fast internet, I would imagine. You go there, boop, hop on the Wi-Fi, and you're playing a PlayStation 5 game in your hand. Right? Sony is playing 4D chess, says Shelly. They're envisioning a future where workers on the break are remote playing their live services, grinding levels, only to get home and play them on the big screen. Oh, no. I didn't even consider that. This is potentially step 1. This is phase 2 of PlayStation 5, right? This is step 1. Have a device for people to game on the go. We've got live service games coming. I didn't even think about that, Shelly. If they've got 12 live service games coming by the end of 2026 and they launch this thing, and over the next 3 years you get decent adoption, especially in the Asian market, because you do need a PS5 first, and that's where this thing is sold the best. You get a ton of Japanese consumers to buy this thing, and then you get them playing your live service games. I mean, that's exactly right. You're just playing wherever you are. You're playing Diablo 4. That's not their game, but imagine grinding out some Diablo 4. The lack of games killed Stadia, says Cowboy. Trust me, in the cloud gaming community, games coming to cloud platforms is the biggest discussion. Cloud gamers get so excited when new games are announced to come. You guys have got to consider what Cowboy is saying. If there are people who like the idea of cloud gaming and they have a PS5 or they're considering getting a PS5, this is a really easy sell for them because they're like, there's no more question about can I play the game on the go? It's, do I own the game or not? Yes, done. Consider PS Plus as well. They get all those games they can just play on the go. On the Switch, I can play at work and grind and then get home and so the main game. Yeah, as long as there's internet. Solemn says, yes, Lono, it is. Some countries out there have widespread public Wi-Fi out and about everywhere, even good signal outside everywhere. Eugene's got a Wi-Fi hotspot little piece of info for me here. Both paid and free wireless Wi-Fi hotspots are available across Japan, which laptops, smartphones, and other mobile devices can use to connect to the internet, especially around airports, train stations, convenience stores, restaurants, coffee shops, and bars. Thanks to the efforts by business and governments, public Wi-Fi networks for free used by foreign tourists have become quite numerous. Tourists will encounter these networks at international airports, major railway stations, trains, bus stations, select coffee places, and fast food stores. Constant access to free and paid Wi-Fi in Japan. Right. And if you consider that in light of that, I'm telling you, that culture embraces it. If you're just tuning in, we are talking about the PlayStation Showcase 2023 predictions. This PlayStation Q Lite will likely be there. Tom Henderson leaked this on InsiderGaming.com. And so I would say if you're actually looking at this device, we're discussing just how popular it might be in markets where public Wi-Fi is more common. Like if I lived in a country like that, where like I could just go to work, the store, or the bus stop and be like, hey man, while I'm on the go, I can grind some Dungeons in Diablo right here on my PlayStation portable device. You know, yeah, 60 FPS, 1080. It turns my PlayStation 5 on at home. I've got good internet in my home. Cowboy says, Lono, the test I did, I played Stadia versus PS5 Remote Play on a motel Wi-Fi, outside on 4G, 5G, and Wi-Fi 6. 2 hours from my house. I tested it all over, and Remote was just as consistent as cloud gaming. There you go. Like I said in my show open, it's basically cloud gaming. Even though it's not, it kind of is. Eugene says Europe is essentially the same with their Wi-Fi access. JRPG is a turn-based. Latency's not even a big deal in those games. That's true. Why would I choose a device like that over my phone? Well, because if you're a PlayStation player, Lion, think about it like this. Look at the saturation rates and the sales rates of the PlayStation 5 in Japan. Just look at Japan and ask the question, if you're investing at that level of gaming and somebody tells you, hey, you can play those games on the go wherever there's Wi-Fi, it's going to turn your PlayStation 5 on and you're going to be playing on your PlayStation 5 while you're out and about, right? That's an easy upsell. I would imagine this thing lands in the $200 to $300 range, right? It's not, I don't know. Is it going to need that much power if it's primarily using the internet and a version of Remote? It's just using Remote Play. It doesn't need to be that powerful, I wouldn't think. Where do you guys think the price is going to land on this thing? $200 to $300? If it gets in the $400 to $500 range, I think you're going to lose people. That's what's making the PSVR 2 a hard upsell. It's like, man, my gosh, the dadgum console's $500. I got to spend more than that for the PSVR 2. For VR people, that's not that expensive. 20-hour battery life. Thank you guys for 200 likes on YouTube. Thanks for 6 gifted members. Kick, you can hit that follow button. Make sure you're following me over there on Kick. Make sure you're following me on the Tickety Talk. I got another stream today. Our second stream is going to be about all the Starfield hate. It's going to be a fun reaction. And then I have another AI in gaming video today, that series that we started, AI in gaming. What's it doing to anti-cheat? That video's later today. Make sure you're subscribed. What if someone is using your PS5 while you're away? Well, then you can't use Remote Play. I don't think so. No less than $300 if they want a premium feel, says Cowboy. I think $300 is a sweet spot. I think it's a $300 device. $299. It's not a so what moment It's not a game issue. I will stick by Google, and now consumers are the problem. Why did you not sub up to Stadia? Would you have still used it if they forced you to sub up? I mean, I didn't do Stadia because I wasn't interested in cloud gaming. I live in America. Our internet sucks here. I played Final Fantasy XIV for simple grinding and gathering through remote play in my daughter's bedroom when she was first born. Worked well. There you go. Another testimony of like, yeah, remote play's nice. I got some grinding done. Wi-Fi waves aren't as much amplified as those from 5G towers, so we still need 8G outside of that Wi-Fi environment. 300 to 350 at Moat, says Kel Swiss, but it has to have superb battery and hardware. The new PlayStation handheld could be optimized to run cloud or remote play. That would make it better than a phone. If they forced a sub, I might have bought it, says Robert. My use didn't require a sub, so no sub. Oh, you're talking to Robert Darth, okay. I mean, listen. I would buy this thing. I would totally buy this thing. Because I like if I'm going I'm going to a beach house in the summer, I go to my parents, right? Well, not my parents, I stay with my brother, and their internet's pretty good. I wouldn't have to bring my PlayStation 5 with me if I wanted to get a little bit of grind on. That's amazing. I'm just sitting there, grinding some Diablo 4. I'd get 2 of them. All right, me and my wife can play when we're out and about, Japan also has this fancy thing called Pocket Wi-Fi where you basically carry around a permanent hotspot. It's about $70 US per month and 100 gig per month. We have personal hotspots here. I mean, my iPhone can turn into one, but the speeds are obviously not that great because we're still LTE 5G. Like I don't think our wireless has gotten that fast in the last 5 years. It's stayed about the same. I remote play to my PS4 sometimes when we have company, says Eugene. If I buy it, I can use my hotspot through my phone. My entire city has 5 gigabit fiber. I think that's a northern U.S. thing, as you guys tax companies into oblivion and wonder why there's no innovation. Oh, that's what the problem is. You're right. Ask Verizon how much in taxes they paid last year. Don't start talking about stuff you don't know. Lono, the only issue with remote play is you have to worry about your internet and your PS5 at home. Like your internet can't go out or your PS5 can't be turned off. Cloud doesn't have those issues. Sure. It's not like remote play. I mean, just like cloud gaming, there's always going to be weaknesses. Remote play's weakness is going to be the fact that, like, you got to leave your PS5 in sleep mode. Your home internet's got to be pretty good because you got to have fast access to it, right? How often do you really enjoy a game when you go on vacation? Well, I mean, I don't necessarily know if it would be about like, oh, I'm really going to get my game online. But like, let's say I'm at the beach house and we're coming back. We're all tired. We're all just wiped from swimming in the ocean. We have lunch. Everybody kind of chilling. My kids are in their room reading books. And I'm like, I read at the beach. I'm gonna grind some Diablo. I'm going to grind some dungeons, I'm going to play for an hour. That's the beauty of gaming on the go. Right? That's the beauty of gaming on the go. Like, you can absolutely just sort of dip your toe in. Like, that's why when Shelly said that about live service, I thought this could be a 900 IQ play. They're getting ready to launch all these live service games, and those are the kind of games that you can play in small spurts. 30 to 45 minutes here, 30 to 45 minutes at the bus stop, at the office on your lunch break, whatever. Just get in, get a little grind, get out. If you're living in Europe with rising electricity prices, that's great for you. I turn off my phone on vacation. I mean, everybody's different. We're going to be at the beach for a week. The beach ain't going anywhere. If I'm back at the house, feet propped and relaxing, on the verge of taking a nap, grind a little game. The sticking point is if the controls are 1-to-1 for the PS5, the Vita Cloud function was great, except you'd have to use the back touchpad for the 2 LR buttons, so it's kind of crap. Well, according to Insider Gaming, the prototype of the PlayStation Q Lite, the prototype looks like a DualSense controller with a screen on it, basically. I mean, it's obviously much bigger. So, should have everything that you want. Even though it's 1080, that's probably not bad on an 8-inch screen. Yeah, 1080 60 FPS on an 8-inch screen will probably look great, honestly. It's the 60 FPS that's really going to make it look smooth. You got to imagine going from Breath of the Wild 720/30 to 1080/60. You're going to be like, holy crap, this looks really smooth. This looks really good. Again, as long as you got a good internet connection. Fuzzy says, personally, if I got any of those games where you have to log in daily and maybe do a dungeon or match, this works great to get the bare minimum done. I would use it for World of Warships. Paul says, if you have a phone, you always have access to Wi-Fi. Really, that's true. I got folks talking to me on Kick, Discord, YouTube, and the Tickety Talk. I kind of want to get an Asus handheld. Listen, whether you want it or not, or whether you want to buy it or not, or whether you think there's promise in it or not, handheld gaming is here. The Steam Deck is just the beginning. You can never look at tech that's having slow start, slow adoption and be like, that's dead in the water, right? VR is going to be a real slow build. But I'm here to tell you, I think the Steam Deck is just the beginning. In 10 years, that we're gonna think of those type of devices will probably be as common as a mobile phone. You'll just go to Best Buy or any store that sells those types of devices, and they'll just have some there. They'll have stronger versions. They'll have versions with, better battery, bigger screen. Like this isn't going away. I wouldn't think. There's no way. Yo, Super Gaming is going to gift the membership and take us to 7 out of 25. The little rivalry with Kick is kind of winding down. We're going to have to get some growth over here on Kick. They've got to work on discoverability. We're primarily streaming to homies that are already members. You guys have already been amazing. So don't take any hurt by that. And it goes to Robsta King. Thank you so much for 7 gifted members. If you guys want to add to those goals over there, you can gift right now or just jump in as a member. If you enjoy my shows on a regular basis and you listen to me on YouTube, it's $5 a month, and it really, really does support the channel. And it gives you all this extra access. It'll give you access to my Discord, which we're having a huge sale on the coffee. A buy 2, get 1 free, but you got to be a member and you got to be in the Discord. Cowboy says, there's a bunch of mobile controllers that are premium, and hooking it up to your phone will blow your mind. Just look up the MGX Pro. I use that on my Fold 3, and it's amazing playing on the go. Can't wait for the AI show. Going to be good. Sorry, man. This is your show. I'm not here to debate the streamer, my bad homie. No, you're fine. Freezy, if we're talking about what you brought up, then you can debate me all day long, baby. You know? And the AI is an upload. The AI video will be an upload. We're doing an entire series about AI in gaming. And today's upload will be about anti-cheat. So make sure you guys are supporting those videos. Our second stream today will be about Starfield. The Switch form factor will probably be how a lot of people play in the future. DK Bager or Bager? DK gifting 1 to Just a Guest. I love the ownership that we have just taken over the member count. We've been maintaining 2,500 members for March. We maintained it in February, and we're set to maintain it in April. If you guys keep coming with the generosity, welcome on in, Just a Guest. If you guys get gifted a member or you are a member, don't forget to check out our Discord. I'm telling you, it's a great place to be. They never announce a new show. They never announce a showcase. Well, no, they've not announced it, but it's coming. There's going to be there will be a Sony PlayStation Showcase 2023, likely in June, before Summer Game Fest. I'm guessing June 1st. They're going to kick off the month. That's a Thursday. They'll have a whole week of everybody talking about them, and then Summer Game Fest will kick off on June the 8th. According to Jeff Grubb, the PlayStation Showcase is happening right before or before Summer Game Fest. Yo, 10 from Casual Grinder. This guy won the Eknor Award last month. That's whoever gifts the most members. And he took that free bag of coffee that he won. He gifted it to somebody else. I completely forgot to print that guy's order. He could have been the 10th order. I'm dumb. It went to Andrew, ZMF, Whiskey Panda, Anthony, Rockstar Boy, Robbie Davis, Transgirl, Ethan Mondi, CBH for God, and The Truth. You guys all got gifted members, and my man Taylor Made is jumping back in. Almost a year milestone, 11 months, and it's a member plus. You should try Dredge. I don't know what that is. I've seen people talking about it. Welcome on in, all those members. Be sure to sync up your YouTube with your Discord. You'll get access to that room, and you can use that code for buy two, get one free on our coffee. I'm drinking it this morning. If you're a coffee drinker and you've never tried coffee with balanced acidity, you gotta try Reforge Roast. ReforgeRoast.com. Anybody listening, elsewhere, it's if you want to get to the site. Being a remote play cloud device also means you never have to worry about specs or compatibility, says Eugene. If it runs on a PS5, it runs on the handheld. No separate support needed. That can keep the cost of the device down. That can keep production costs down. That can be, potentially, that can be better for your battery life, right? You're using less power. It's a fishing survival indie game. Why in the world would I play that? What makes you think I would like that? As an Xbox grifter and PlayStation first-party only games enjoyed, even I am probably going to get this handheld, says Solemn. I'm telling you, people are underestimating a PlayStation handheld because they think of the Vita and they think that handheld gaming is a joke. They're just like, nah, there's no way. There's no way, right? Oh, why would you do that? Yo, Quintar, another very faithful gifter here. I know he had to be close to that Eknor Award last month. So many gifts. Oh, it goes to Chris Toast. Good to see. She's still here, maybe. Well, maybe it just gave it to her for watching. Mark Anthony, Kid, Talbot, and Dawn, welcome on in. You guys don't want to miss it if you're members. Make sure you're plugged in because my wife and I do a members-only stream on Friday nights. It's really funny. If you want to see somebody give me crap while I'm playing games, it is an absolute blast. What about tiny letters on a handheld? Rockin' Robin says, let's blast past the goal, and takes us to 33. So now I owe you 5. You're rolling us to the next milestone already of 50. 33 members on the day, a 10 bomb from Rockin' Robin. It goes to Big Mac, Ausilius, Chris DeCanio, Lonnie Lozano, Jeff from End of a Species, Tattoo Evolution. Tattoo is here. Crooked Tongues, Raven Wolf, Off the Grid, and YVNG Raffle. Listen, Tattoo, I hung out with you in real life. I hope you're watching and not like hate watching. There's people from those days that I think hate watch. You play as a boat captain. Time only moves when you do or when you're fishing, and when it turns to night, your character hallucinates and sees sea monsters come for you. What the frick? People have been absolutely ravenous for a new PlayStation handheld, says Solemn. It's going to be a push. It's going to push sales for someone who might not have the entirely wanted to buy before, just the sheer emotion of it. Definitely a smart idea to make it remote play device, as Sony wouldn't have to support it with dedicated handheld only titles. That's exactly what Cowboy was saying. Cowboy was saying, listen, the number one problem with cloud gaming is you're sitting there waiting. When am I going to get a cloud game? When am I going to get another cloud game? Is that game going to be a cloud game? Well, that's not the case. That's not the case. You don't need that. The 350 Logitech G Cloud needs the $400 Valve Steam Deck to not exist. In terms of pricing, good baseline. I think it's a $300 device, Wheeze. $299. $299. I think they sell it. It's a lot. I think they sell it at a loss. Get people in because it'll be a perfect add-on to PlayStation 5 owners. Jeff Grubb's just making stuff up. Really? Does he have a history of doing that? I think he has a history of getting information, leaking the information, and the information being true, so I'm not sure what you're talking about. I would play a lot more of my PS5 games if I could play it on a handheld like the Switch, says Ryan. If it's got DualSense features, battery life for the handheld will be bad. Maybe not. Maybe not, because the battery life in a DualSense, you got to think of what's the average battery life in the Steam Deck, right? Raven's Watch comes out tomorrow. Yeah, that's the one that looks like Raven's Watch is the one that looks like Hades, but you can play it with other people. Fans of Hades, don't sleep on Raven's Watch. That game looks like it's going to be really, really cool. Grubb's info indicates it's a cloud device and not just remote only. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Eugene. Why on earth would you make a PlayStation handheld and not have it do both remote play and cloud? It's going to have Wi-Fi in it. Why wouldn't you do both? It stands to reason that it would do both. If you guys are watching on YouTube, we're getting a big uptick right now. If you're finding my videos somewhere on YouTube, recommended or searched or whatever, make sure you hit subscribe so you can talk in my chat. If you're enjoying the content, hit that like button. It'll help this video find more people. I'd love to hear from you. What do you think about the PlayStation Showcase? We see in this handheld? Is this handheld going to be worth it? Aaron says, Lono, if there aren't any games to support for the handheld, so only cloud, then it wouldn't need to be $300. It could be $150 to compete with the Series S and the Switch. I don't know about that low. That seems way too low. 19 months plus 3 years on Purple, still going strong. My man, Tattoos, coming in with 19 months. Thank you so much. Did the other Tattoo say anything? No, he didn't. Okay. Rumors of a PlayStation new handheld. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. It will likely be at the PlayStation Showcase. Cowboy says, I was a big PlayStation gamer, fell in love with Stadia because I could play at home and anywhere, but what made me get out of Stadia and bought a PS5 is the AAA games stopped coming to Stadia. If it's just for remote play, it could easily be cheaper. Hey, Robert Kober. Hey, Robert. I've not communicated to you on Discord. Don't worry. You will get your coffee. Did you tell me what kind you want? That's the only thing that I might not have. Just make sure and DM me the flavor that you want. It'll be between the light and the Frickmas at this point. A $5 super chat tip from Super Gaming. Being able to progress at work and then continue at home would be amazing and what the Vita was supposed to do, says Super Gaming. Wheezy says, they might as well just sell it for $20 because it's just cloud. Man, y'all are kind of what? Kind of wild. That's what I'm saying, Wheeze. That's what I'm saying. $299 says Silent Warrior. No way. I believe it'll be at least $400. Similar design to the PS controller plus an 80-inch screen in the middle with the capability to run games at 1080-60. Yeah, but it's not running the games. It's remote play. It's not going to need the power of some of those other devices that are in the $400 and $500 range. It's not going to need that level of power. Did I miss a showcase? No, it's likely happening early June. Yo, Ryan jumps in on his own. That's what I want to see. We got 33 gifteds. It's time for folks to start getting their own memberships, man. Jump in on your own. 33 is plenty of gifteds, man. Show these gifteds that you can match them, right? I want to see y'all match the gifteds with your own membership. Click that $sign at the bottom of the chat or click join and jump in as a member. It makes room for the people that can't afford a membership. So when the gifteds go out, it hits those folks that loyally watch and support the show but can't afford one. If it's a cloud streaming device and not just remote, that would indicate a big improvement in PlayStation's cloud services. The Logitech G Cloud costs $300 for 1080-60. The Razor's Edge costs $350 for 1440. Yeah, I'm telling you, $300. That's the price range on this thing. $299. I put money on it. I put money on it. You guys are getting a little bit of thigh today. I'm not. Oh no, it's Alex. So I can't go any higher. Steam Deck battery lasts about 2 hours in Sekiro, about 8 in Terraria. Okay. So the average PlayStation game that looks like Sekiro, which would be like a Ghost of Tsushima, 2 hours. And Diablo would probably be a little more than that, maybe 3 or 4. That's not bad. Well, the Steam Deck battery is changing its life, though, depending on the game you're playing because of the power that it needs to run it. This isn't going to change because of that. As long as you don't Jake Lucky, yeah, we'll be all right as long as I don't know what Jake did. Any Christmas, Jake. People don't realize they can do all this right now with a phone, a tablet, or even a PC. PS5 Remote Play is available now, and it works great. If your internet and mobile data is good, try it. Thighs looking kind of scrawny. What you want me to do? I'm a little white guy. I can't change that about myself. That's a good point with Remote Play. Less CPU, GPU power needed, which prolongs battery life. Perfect example is my dedicated GPU laptop. As those fans kick in, the battery life takes a nosedive. Boycott Activision with a $5 super chat tip. I feel like Sony are complete idiots for not creating a PS phone with 5G. We already pay $900 for phones and monthly internet connection. Thank you so much. $2 from Transmissions from the Space Boat. What if we could connect the PSVR 2 to the handheld? No, I don't know if that would work. Doesn't the PSVR 2 leverage some of the processing power of the PS5? I don't know if that would work. That'd be crazy, though. Thank you for the $2 transmission. I know that's not the first time you've tipped me money. That cannot be right. I think YouTube's having a bit of a conniption. Diablo is very GPU intensive. It would kill a handheld fast, but I do love the game. But this wouldn't kill the GPU on the PlayStation handheld's not going to get killed by its GPU. It's running on your PS5. Yo, what's good, Kale? Good to see you over here. I do think if they come out with a full-on cloud gaming, it should work on everything like PC also. Bulking season. I ain't bulking anything. I say $3.99. You say $2.99, says Silent. I will bet 5 members closest pays. Sure. We'll know in June, Silent. I'll do it. I'll take that action. It's $2.99. I will. I'll bet 5 members on it. Remote VR with lag, motion sickness for everyone. I'm committed to my iPhone, and a lot of people are. Jumping to a PS phone would be a big ask. Yeah, this doesn't replace your phone. Like, replacing your phone is kind of a big deal. It's an extension of who you are. It's an extension of your daily life. That's not what this is. This would be a new gaming device. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what's good, Abe? Can't believe Sony and its consumers gave up on the PS Vita so soon, says Black Ant. We would have been going hard. Oh, we'd have been going head-to-head with the Switch, and the PSP 3 and the original have been successful. Oh, had the original been successful. Wheezy's saying it'll be closer to $350. I mean, I could see $349 just because they priced the PSVR 2 at, $549. So I could see $349. I just think $299 sounds so good. You just see that and you're like, $299, that's it? I can play PlayStation 5 games anywhere I got good internet? Okay. As long as you have a PS5, obviously. Is a handheld confirmed? This is a leak from Insider Gaming, and it seems pretty solid. A phone is a pain in the butt to game on. Notifications and the attachments are horrible. Way too small in your hands. A phone isn't all that. People are forgetting that all the PS5s are about to be $399, says Eugene. Go ahead. Go head-to-head with Switch and lose. Makes sense. Oh, you're saying LOL no against the guy that says go head-to-head with the Switch. Listen, if there's one thing I wouldn't want to do, I would not want to challenge a Nintendo Switch. I wouldn't want to do it. We got 26 people watching on Kick. Make sure you're following the channel over there. Make sure you click follow. If you're enjoying the show, you can become a member or gift members. Try not to sneeze. Okay, I won the fight. I reckon $499 day one. Sony gonna Sony. 3 days later after launch, $299. But when have they ever done that? They've never dropped something at a high price and then dropped the price a few days later. That's kind of, you're kidding around. Mr. Hall says, some of y'all need to realize the game is not running directly on the device in your hand. It's only displaying it, which drastically saves battery life. It's displaying it and using up-down internet, right? You're going to be sending packets up and receiving packets down. So Wi-Fi peripheral will be running, and the screen, and some type of a sound card, And there will be a GPU, CPU running to make sure that the screen's refreshing and displaying colors and everything else. Yo, what's good, Hellfire? Good to see you over here on Kick. I think the screen size matters. My iPhone 12 Pro Max is comfortable enough for me to consider remote gameplay. Depends on the type of game. Sekiro and Terraria running on the deck get that battery life. If you use remote play on the deck, it lasts 8 to 10 hours. Y'all hear what Techno's saying? Techno is saying 8 to 10 hours if you do remote play on the Steam Deck. So they'll be able to walk out with this thing and say, yeah, 6 to 8 hours, baby. Or whereabouts. Okay, thanks so much. I got your coffee flavor, Robert. Feels like Sony learned to never do a PlayStation phone again. Did I miss you talking about Starfield yet? My Starfield stream will be my second stream today. You're going to have to watch on YouTube because it's going to be a reaction video and you won't be able to see what I'm looking at. So you're going to want to go to my profile link on the Tickety Talk and head over to my YouTube and start watching there. We're not doing that for a while. That's in about an hour and a half. But you will not be able to watch that stream on the Tickety Talk because they won't give me a dadgum stream key. Why not be able to download it to the device and sync progression once you get back home and go back online? Also have the option to do remote play. Because Scott Dove, think about what you just described. Oh, I want to be able to download it to the device. Why? That means you need a hard drive in the device. That's more hardware. That's more battery power. That means then you need RAM, you need a GPU, and a CPU to run the game. You don't need that in this device. This PlayStation Q Lite, this PlayStation handheld, it's quite literally going to be using your PS5. The PS5's running the game, and you're just connected to it over the internet. It's basically a Wi-Fi portable screen for your PS5. All right, guys, see you later. And then you go to the break room, and your internet, your company has really fast internet, and you hop on the Wi-Fi, and you remote into your PS5, and you grind out Diablo 4, and you're like, yeah, man, I'm gonna get some dungeons going. And then when you come home, everything you did has already happened. You did it. It was there. A streaming device is just a video player. The hardware for that is common and cheap and energy efficient, says Zubair. The price on this thing is going to be super competitive. It means you need a PS5. Can't buy that thing standalone. Of course, Elaine, of course. And that's the point. They're making a device that will likely be very popular in the Asian market, just like the PS5 has been. So they're going to go to the market where the PS5 saturation is at its best, and they're going to say, hey, for $299, you can buy this handheld device and game on the go. All your PS5 games, all your PS Plus games, boom, right there in your hand. And according to Jeff Grubb, it's also going to have cloud gaming potential. And in Japan alone, look right there. In 2020, 1.5 billion yen. They see the cloud gaming industry mushrooming up to almost 14 billion yen in 2024. Now, that's only about 110 million US dollars, but that's up from what, like 11 million. Imagine somebody telling you that. Yeah, this industry right now generates about $11 million a year. It's going to get to about $110 million a year in just 4 years. I'm sorry, what? That's pretty good growth. That's fast. So the Japanese market and culture is seemingly embracing cloud gaming. Christo says, how much would you pay for it? I would pay between $300 and $350 for it. I would. Yeah, $300 and $350. Once you get up to $450, once you get to closer to the same price as the console, I would say, come on. If you get to the $350, $400 range, it's like I'm buying another PS5 practically, and I think that would turn people off. There needs to be a marked difference of like, okay, the console, because I think the console's about to drop to $400. I think Eugene is right. I think when they unify the SKU and do the detachable drive, PS5s are going to drop to $400. You can't have this device $50 less than that. People are like, what? So it's $350 for this thing and it's $399 for the PS5? Frick out of here. Get out of here. You're going to have PS5s for $400. You're going to have this device for $299. That's what I think. That's a perfect marriage. That's a perfect marriage. Because then, $300 and $400, that's $700 if you want it all. $700 if you want it all. And the PlayStation was just recently $500. So you're going from $500 for a PlayStation 5 to I can spend $700 and I get a PlayStation 5 and I get a PlayStation handheld. That's not bad. That's a pretty good deal. In markets where this thing is doing very well. In markets where this thing is doing very well, you're going to have people, the demand for this thing is going to get scooped up so fast, you're going to be struggling to get one. I just think the pricing is going to be difficult. I agree with what Lono is saying right now. If it was a phone, I'd pay $900 for it as part of my monthly bill. I'm moving to Taiwan in a couple of years. Not quite Japan, but I'm excited to see how Wi-Fi and internet works over there. I'm telling you what, the future of where you can live in 10 years, like when my daughter's in her 20s, she could move to Japan and not need to speak Japanese at all and live successfully and flourish. Because we're going to get to a point where you literally pull out your phone and say, hi, I would like and I also need directions to and you just rattle it all off, and then your phone just speaks Japanese. There's going to be personal interpretation devices that you'll see commercially, I don't know, in the next 20 years. So you're not going to feel like, it'll be such a challenge to move to Japan. No, it won't. Now you got to learn that, the currency system and citizenship rules and all their laws and stuff. But you could already do it. You could already do it and probably not struggle that bad. Like, there's already apps that do this, but it's going to become so common that it'll be like a personal interpretation device. You just like hook it up and just say, hi, how are you? And it'll go, hi, how are you? Like, it's already in existence. It's just not as commercially widespread, right? Is your daughter already 20? Because that's today. I had a full convo with landscapers the other day. They didn't speak a word of English. That's remarkable. So it just listens to them and tells you what they're saying. I know that the tech already exists, but what I'm saying is it'll become like commercially widespread to where right now you got to be kind of like front wave tech person to know about it. It'll just be super commonplace. Just buy a device and it'll be able to do anything you need it to. And it won't have any challenge at all listening to the speed of their voice, their accent, use of slang, different voice intonation, speech patterns. I mean, it's already here, but you don't need to think like that. So if you imagine, this is something that like the West needs to consider. The world is about to get much smaller. Right? The globalization for tech and living and where you can go exist as a person, it's about to get a whole lot smaller. 30 years ago, you wouldn't even conceive of the idea of like, I can just move to Japan, I'll be fine. No, what? Do you speak Japanese? Do you have anybody there that can help you? World's about to get a lot smaller. And I'm telling you, having a gaming handheld device like this will be huge for PlayStation. It really, really will. Now, I want to shift gears a little bit. We're about an hour into the show. We can keep talking about the handheld if you want. If you guys have other thoughts and things you want to throw out, feel free. I want to know what you guys think about these PlayStation Live Service games. Are we going to finally see some at this PlayStation Showcase? And make sure you guys are smashing the like button. We need 20 more likes on YouTube. Help me hit 300 likes. It helps the video find more people. I want to know what you guys think about this. I actually think the live service games are related to this handheld device. I do. Oh. Xbox Game Pass Cloud Gaming and the PlayStation Remote Play app run on the Steam Deck. Cowboy says, trust me, playing Remote Play on your phone won't kill your battery. You think how long your phone lasts when watching a YouTube video. Your phone is only using your internet and the screen being on. Excellent point, Cowboy. This thing will be affordable, and it won't eat up battery. Pretty sure you can PlayStation Remote Play on a Steam Deck now. You can. I have a cat in my pants. Tengo un gato en mis pantalones. They might think you're saying something else. Will we see more Game of the Year nominated single-player story-driven games? Shut up, Abe. Sony's going to be butthurt from losing COD and try to beat Johnny-come-lately on multiplayer. I don't think they're going to be Johnny-come-lately. They made the announcement about live service games long before the acquisition was even out there in the realm of conversation. Tactical Gamer gifted a membership, taking us to 35, getting us 15 away from the next daily milestone. It goes to Saved Soul. Cowboy on fire today. The years of using Stadia made him a what? If this uses Remote Play, it'll fail. It'll be bombarded by bad reviews from unstable connections. Yeah, but Tuco, anybody buying a device that they understand is using cloud or Remote Play, they've got to know what they're signing up for. Come on. You just gonna get bombarded by bad reviews? We got some new followers over here on Kick. Thank you so much. Consider becoming a member over there. We have a little rivalry between the two platforms. YouTube crushing it today with 35 members already. Good morning, Khaled. Steam Deck is a full-blown PC in handheld form. You can make whatever you want work if you're dedicated. Subject matter expert. Oh. I don't think I've ever seen SME. I've never seen that used before. That's a brand new acronym. Like, subject matter expert? You expect consumers to be reasonable? Your phone's constantly processing, not just internet and screen. I don't think they will take COD off of PlayStation. That'd be foolish. And in 10 years, you can talk about it, but now it ain't happening. Yo, Brain Eclipse is going to gift one to Dan the Man. Dan the Man says, how are you? And just for talking over here on Kick, he gets a gifted member. Welcome on in, man. Playing Ghost of Tsushima on the go equals become the legend. The ghost on the go. There, I did the marketing slogan. Now make it happen, Sony. I think the device fails as remote and cloud only, says Robert. It needs reasonable offline capabilities, i.e. better than the Switch. But it doesn't need that. They're not trying to create a handheld gaming device. They're trying to make a handheld PlayStation 5 Remote cloud device. You know what I mean? SME's used in IT a lot. Oh, okay. I have my employer, and the one before used that term. Got it. We pronounce it SME. I really don't think you're creating, like, Robert, I don't think you're creating a genuine impetus. I don't think you need a handheld device that is ridiculously powerful, and here's why. The price goes way up, the battery life goes way down, and now you've got no consumers. Cowboy says, thank you, Lion. I really transferred all my gaming into cloud gaming for the past few years, and I always wanted remote play to be what it is today, so I did put the time in. Yeah, and I think your input today has been really helpful, Cowboy, because it's like, listen, man, this is a guy that's in the cloud gaming world, and they're all saying we would prefer remote play, because then you don't have to ask the question, am I going to get this game on cloud? Is there a showcase plan to happen soon? When is this happening? All right, let me give you guys a quick rundown and recap of today's show. We're talking a lot about the Sony Q Lite, the PlayStation Q Lite, which is just a PlayStation handheld that has been leaked by Insider Gaming, and it's taken over the show today, so the perfect timing. I added it to my thumbnail and everything, so thank you, Tommy Hendy. But basically, Jeff Grubb indicated earlier this year that the PlayStation Showcase was planned for late last year, but a lot of the developers weren't ready. He says now the developers are ready, and it's going to be a massive show, okay? He says that this will be the beginning of basically phase 2 for the PlayStation 5, right? Let me read you what he said. It's up at the very beginning of my thing, right? He said they're saving the good stuff for the PlayStation Showcase. It'll happen before E3. Now he's adjusted and said it'll happen before Summer Games Fest because there is no E3, right? It was supposed to happen last fall, but they kept pushing it back because the developers weren't ready. Now the developers are ready, and they should have a massive show that sets up the second phase of PlayStation 5. So he's basically saying this is going to be a massive show. It's going to set up the second phase of PlayStation 5, and it's likely going to be happening in June, right before Summer Game Fest. I've speculated June 1st. $2 from Tuco says, have you used PlayStation Remote Play? It doesn't work well. A couple people in chat have said they've used it, and they said it's actually fine. I've not used it myself. Eugene says, having a singular library I always have access to is way more appealing to me. I enjoy the TLA also has 3 letters. That's good work. Frostbite says, the thing is, who is using the cloud if they have a PS5? Bit like the Xbox X. Tried playing Doom on my phone, streamed from my Xbox. Tried playing some games on a small screen. It's garbage. You got to look at the cultures that have embraced this. You have to look at the cultures that have embraced cloud gaming and gaming on the go. Like, this is going to be a huge hit. It'll be a huge hit in the Asian market. Cowboy says, cloud gamers are cheap. So buying a PS5 and a remote play device will be their pushback. Cloud gamers like getting games without expensive hardware. Here's the thing. I don't think this device is targeting cloud gamers. I think it's targeting PlayStation 5 owners. I mean, look at their projections for PlayStation 5 saturation. They're about to have a really, really good year. Right? Quiet Shy, not so quiet. SME, some men exaggerate. Lion, not so lion. Why you all flirting in my chat? The Steam Deck and the Switch suggest otherwise. It's an accessory like a VR headset. That's right. Yeah, people are going to view it as an accessory to their PlayStation 5. You know what I'm saying? Come on, y'all. Don't be edging my like count. With 293, I need a few more likes for 300 likes on YouTube. Come on, YouTube. Where are the likes at? Where are the likes at? Hang on, I got to get Kickback open. I closed it. The handheld isn't to sell more PS5s. It's for current PS5 owners. That's right. Yo, what's good, Feed? I see you in the chat. There were conversations a few years back around 3 services that would link to all the platforms and access game ownership credentials in order to allow a single library to manage all your stuff, says Nitro. A PS5 game through remote play while I watch baseball. Bliss, says Ryan. Why would Sony want to limit it to only existing PS5 owners? Why not open up to new customers? Abe, it's open to anybody, but you need a PlayStation 5 in order for this thing to work. That's how it works, is running the game on your PlayStation 5. Wheezy says, I think this is a good point to make. Look at all the people who have different experiences in cloud gaming. This isn't going to be just straightforward one way or the other. Just subscribe. Thank you, Logan. Nitro says, platform games, it'll allow individual marketplaces to still exist. Few made it out of beta testing, but game streaming from the cloud has one variation they were working on. GOG is the only one that is still around. It's targeting PS5 owners, expanding the consoles. Raven says, Talika, says, again, I say bundles incoming. Yeah, you could see it bundled. You could totally see it bundled. Lono using the term edging wasn't on my bingo card today. It always wakes everybody up. It's like, come on, y'all. We need those likes. It helps the video out. Y'all are sleeping. You know? Quit sleeping. Wake up. Yo, good morning, Zathos. I got gigabit 900 meg up and down. If I'm getting lag in my house, how well is this going to work for the rest of the market? Yeah, but it's subjective, Tuco. You could be getting routed through a bad hub. Just because your internet up and down is good doesn't mean that when you go to play on something like that, you're going to get good routing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I have different experiences with all the things that I do. I have 2 different internet services in my house. Some websites load really quickly on AT&T, and my AT&T is slower than Spectrum. Here's how you know Sony is committed to the handheld device. Notice Sony have not created a PS Cloud app for mobile. You can only do PlayStation Cloud on PC and a PS5. Black Ant says, I just figured it out. Sony is pulling the PS4 catalog from PS Plus Premium so they can sell those titles for the handheld. That's a good strategy. I don't know if that's exactly what the plan here is. Creature says, not to mention there's absolutely no way for Sony or Microsoft is going to let you play at that speed. You'd be the best player in the world. You don't let me nap? I'll take it, Mike, my like away. What do you mean I don't let you nap? Oh, because you're sleeping. How much horsepower do the PS4 have? Can you make a battery sipping SoC that can run PS4 games natively? Well, that I don't know. I just don't think that's the goal. I don't think the goal is to have a device that's that powerful. I think the goal is this is an extension of the PS5. Tech question, can Sony put a stripped down version of a game on cartridge or disc and use cloud computing to help the weak CPU, GPU make something comparable to a home console? I don't know. You're talking about multiple systems that would have to be operating because you'd have to have something running and reading the cartridge or disc, and running or reading the cartridge or disc would be more battery drain. Then you'd have to have something actually, transmitting computing and handing that off to the cloud. I don't know. That's not what this is. You're just throwing out random ideas. Like, that's not what this is going to be. This is a remote play cloud device to as an extension of the PS5. Why bother playing on a 2-inch screen, but you need a $500 console? Well, it's an 8-inch screen. I mean, I know sometimes, you hear 8 inches and assume 2. I mean, that difference might be something you're accustomed to. But it's an 8-inch screen, and when you go to markets where people are accustomed to mobile gaming and gaming on the go, this won't at all feel like a setback or a step back. It'll feel like everything they're already doing, whether they're doing it on a mobile device or the Nintendo Switch. Randomly found your channel on Kick. Didn't recognize the rebrand. Used to watch you back when you used to play a certain Bungie game on Purple. I appreciate that, Slade. Thanks for finding me. Thanks for coming over to YouTube. You want to jump in and support me like you used to? Hit the join button. Hit the $sign button. I think Lono wins the award for this week. That was brutal. I slipped it in so subtly, too. I didn't smile. I didn't get angry. I just slipped that one in there. I was like, all right, no pun intended. It's like an accessory, not a downgrade. Right, but okay, Logan, I gave you a little chin shot and you're still here. I got respect for that. I gave you a little dig. Listen, it's not a 2-inch screen. It's an 8-inch screen. You have to look at the markets where people have embraced gaming on the go. If you look at Japan, if you look at Asian markets where people are gaming on the go, where fast Wi-Fi is more readily available, this is not going to look like what you're viewing it in a way of being like, oh yeah, it's a small screen. Why would I do that? Well, because you're not always at home. You're not always at home. You know what I'm saying? As long as your PS5's on and you have good internet at home and good internet access wherever you are, you can be playing any of your PS5 games. You know what I'm saying? Mind if I make an AI clone model of you? I'd prefer that you not do that unless you want to pay me royalties. Out here insulting people's accessories. He might be really proud of his little peripheral. The Nintendo Switch is a 6-inch screen, so it's bigger than that. Yeah, so it has a bigger screen than a Nintendo Switch. If the leak is to be believed, an 8-inch screen. People don't know what 8 inches is because they've been lied to their whole life about what 6 inches is. I really want cloud-only option. Like Eugene suggested, I'd pay for the PS Plus to be able to use cloud without relying on a PS5. Maybe that's the selling point, Abe. I just did a recap, Drummond. Maybe that's the selling point. If the selling point is existing PS5 users can do this and cloud. If you don't have a PS5, no worries. You can play this entire library. And then guess what happens to that person? They now have a very strong motivation to buy a PS5 if the device is enjoyable. Lono, all Sony has to do is make ads. That's all I'm saying, says Cowboy. Play your PS5 games that you already own anywhere you go, and then show people playing God of War, Ratchet, and any games on the PS5. Boom. Yeah, but if it also is a cloud gaming device and they don't need a PS5, that's a big funnel of people. That's a lot of people that have been waiting to get a PS5 that'll be like, wait a minute. You're telling me I can get that device and I can play Ghost of Tsushima Cloud at work? I just need fast internet? That doesn't sound too bad. All I'll say is 8 inches is definitely above average. I have a PC as well. I just haven't got a PS5 yet. Didn't know if I should wait. I mean, I think a PS5 is well worth it. There are people that say, oh, you don't need a PS5 because the games come to PC. Okay, yeah, they come to PC, what, on a 2-year interval right now with no promise of quick turnaround on some of the best games available right now. Like, you're going to have to wait quite a while. You got to clip the 18-inch screen comment to a YouTube short? Well, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. Bundle it with 1 year PS Plus. Big O says, I'd buy one. I normally take my PS5 with me when I have my drill weekends or go off to training. The cloud handheld would be perfect for me. Just wanted a PS5 for exclusives. I know PC ports lately, in my experience, have been a while on a PC user. Yeah, the PC ports have been inconsistent because Days Gone and God of War were great PC ports. Horizon Zero Dawn was bad, but they fixed it. Last of Us Part 1 has been one of the worst PC ports I've ever seen, and they're fixing it. Returnal was fine. And Sackboy just didn't do well commercially, but it was a perfectly fine port. So, like, the ports have been more good than bad, but some of them have been pretty bad. I'm hard-headed, says Abe. I haven't gotten a PS5. But do that crap, man. I'm not sure what you're trying to say, Abe. They should bundle. Yeah, I don't know about bundling it. Up 2 years late, and they usually port awful. I don't think you can say they usually port awful when Days Gone, God of War, and Returnal, and the Uncharted were all ported pretty well. Uncharted had some weird stuttering with the mouse, but it was a perfectly fine port if you played with the controller. So, I don't think you can say they usually port awful. Horizon Zero Dawn was bad for a while. It was not a great port for at least a month. They had to do a lot of patching, and then it got significantly better. God of War 2018 and Days Gone are rock solid. Returnal's is good as well. And then Sackboy, and then the other one that I said, I can't remember. Uncharted. I would expect it's going to be both streaming and remote play. If you have PS Plus upper tiers, I would expect to be able to stream those titles. You don't need a PS5 for that if you have a PS5 remote play. Yeah, it'll be both. I think it'll be both. The more we've talked about it, the more I think about it, it's both. Iron Hand with a $10 super chat. I think it would need to have a very low price point for it to be acceptable. The PlayStation 5 is super high, and if the device has no real local power, there'd be no real reason for the price to be high. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Okay, well, the PlayStation 5 price is about to go down because they're going to unify the SKU and go with a detachable drive. So there's only going to be one PlayStation 5 that you can buy. That's going to drive production costs down, which will enable them to lower the cost. So I think holiday this year, the PlayStation 5 is $400. And if the PlayStation 5 is $400, I think this device will be $299. I think that's perfect optics. It's like, oh yeah, the PlayStation 5 just went on sale, right? Boom, drop it down. And then you have the $299. You have the $299 PlayStation handheld. I think they announced all this, not the sale of the PlayStation 5, not the price decrease, but I think they announced all this at the PlayStation Showcase. The PlayStation Showcase 2023, June easily is when it lands. Lono, if you remote play a multiplayer game, surely there's no latency since the PS5 does the multiplayer, right? So the only latency is the same you'd be getting a single player. Am I dumb? Well, there would be latency because your PlayStation 5 is doing everything, but it has to send all that to you, and your inputs have to be sent back to it. So there would definitely be latency. Cowboy says, Lono, remember the rumor from March, the PS5 update was that PS5's consoles would be able to stream PS5 games via the cloud. They never did that. Maybe they will do it with this device with PS Premium. Maybe that's what that rumor was circling. Maybe it was attached to this in some way. If you had played Hellblade on an 8-inch screen, I bet you wouldn't have rated the game as high. I think playing on a small screen give a worse game in terms of looks and atmosphere. Yeah, but Frostbite, you're creating a really, really weird example. No, like, this device is not for somebody to say, there's a brand new game out. Right? There's a graphically intensive, cinematically driven experience. I'm going to play this at the bus stop without headphones. Like, duh, it's not going to be ideal to do that. No one's going to do that. They're not going to say, oh, man, I can't wait to play, the third Horizon game, and they're sitting at a bus stop, and it's loud, and they can barely hear it. No one's doing that. Like, of course, yes, if I went to play Hellblade for the very first time, and I was on a train or in the lunchroom in a place where I worked, and I'm sitting there trying to play, and I don't have headphones on, well, yeah, that'd be a bad experience. Like, that's like saying, well, if you hook your Xbox Series X up to an old CRTV monitor, it's going to look like crap and you're not going to like the games. Well, yeah, if you intentionally set up a bad example, of course nobody's going to like the game or enjoy themselves. This is not marketed as a come play high-definition next-gen games. That's not the way this is going to be marketed. This is going to be marketed to people who want a game on the go. And people who want a game on the go don't think in the realm that you just outlined. They don't. I think $199 would be amazing for the standalone device. $299 better come with a controller, but it is a controller. How much is this? How much is the Edge? How much is the Edge? PlayStation Dual Sense Edge. How much is the price on that bad boy? $200. Yeah, come on. You can't sell this device for the same amount as the debt. So you think the device should be as much as this? Look at the optics on that. That doesn't even make any sense. This thing right here will be $200. The handheld device will be $300. The console will be $400. Bing, bing, bing. And then the PSVR 2, they'll probably drop that to $500. They'll probably shave that 50 off. They'll probably shave the 50 off. 200, 300, 400, 500. That's your price spectrum. Dead Poet puts 200. No way. No way. They're not going to make a handheld device that's the same cost as the PlayStation DualSense Edge. No way. That doesn't even make any sense. This thing's going to be Wi-Fi capable. It's going to have a screen. It's going to have a battery to support that. You're going to be able to play on the go. Oh, I'm sorry, Dead Poet. You were saying the controller's 200. My bad. You were answering. I said that out loud as I was searching it. This handheld will never be under 300, says the Senin Gamer. Impossible, just because of expensive everything is today due to inflation and many other issues, and geopolitically, I would say it still will be around 400. No, they're gonna. That doesn't make any sense at all. It doesn't make any sense at all. They're gonna drop the PlayStation 5 to $400 because they're unifying the SKU. They're unifying the PlayStation 5 SKU to bring production down so they can lower the price. So holiday season this year, I bet the PlayStation 5 is $400. This device, this PlayStation Q Lite, the PlayStation handheld will be $300. It'll be $299. Like, that's perfect pricing spectrum. You want a DualSense Edge controller? $199. You want a mobile gaming device, a handheld gaming device? $299. You want the PlayStation 5? $399. You want the PlayStation VR 2? $499. That's just a great pricing spectrum. Now, the only danger in doing that is you suddenly have the PSVR 2 being the most expensive peripheral. Like, it's more expensive than the dadgum PS5. It already is by $50. But I don't know. I think the optics on that is this is a high-end luxury device. It's one of the reasons the PSVR 2 is not PC compatible. It's not. Because they absolutely do not want that thing running some game on Steam that hasn't been optimized for their device, and then everyone thinks, what a piece of crap this is. Why I spent all this money on this thing and it runs like garbage. Is it official they're trying handheld mobile? I mean, it's a leak. Insider Gaming says they've got solid intel and people close to the project that know, and they're saying, yeah. Yeah. Cowboy says, at my mother-in-law's house, I beat Doom Eternal on the Stadia and many other games I played on my phone, and I used 4G and I enjoyed them. I played a lot of games on my phones. It's not bad for gaming. At $399, I'd buy a second PS5, says Freezy Pop. My wife loves the one I gave her. Wouldn't mind having one in my bedroom. PlayStation 5 or your wife? 300 seems expensive for a streaming device. Needs to be lower than the Series S, in my opinion. Nah. No. If you compare to other devices like it, $299 is going to look crazy good deal. That's going to look like a crazy good deal. I still think if I wanted to play on the go, I would buy a Switch. It's the only console I don't have. I don't think it'll sell well. It's too much money for most people. No. You think that a market that has ravenously bought a PS5 at $500 is going to say $299 is too much? You think an ecosystem that has embraced $70 game price points is going to say that $299 is too much? It doesn't need to compete with the Series S. Nobody looks at the Series S and says that. You know what I'm saying? This is why he got canceled. Yeah, that's right. Right. Save that. Write a twit longer in 2 years about how traumatized you are right now. Do that and then start a streaming career so you can make minimum wage streaming. It's a leak, but honestly, it makes a lot of sense for Sony to do this. So in my opinion, it's a believable leak. Well, we're getting leaks from Insider Gaming and we're getting leaks from Jeff Grubb. That's what I'm saying. I have a PS5 plus the Q bundle with a slight discount, maybe 100 or 150 of both, off of both. Existing PS5 owners will be tempted to go for that bedroom PS5 instead of a solo Q. It's gross. It's weird when video games become a luxury expense to yourself. I'm not sure what you mean, Russell. What are you talking about? What's in your coffee? You're roasting a little too much this morning? I don't understand what you mean. What do you mean? I'd rather have a third different console than just an add-on, though. I think most would be like me. They're not worried about you. They're worried about the PlayStation 5 market saturation. And they're going to say, hey, you want to take those games with you? And tons of people are going to say, yup. I don't think this is for the American audience, says Zubair. It's for the people for whom a Switch made total sense. I still think the Switch is weird. Yes, you have to look outside of where you live. You have to look outside of your market and consumer trends. You have to look at the PlayStation 5 and how well it's saturating in the Asian market. And you have to look at how the Asian market is responding to mobile gaming and gaming on the go. This thing will crush in those markets. You won't be able to get your hands on one because the West will not be prioritized. You're going to struggle to get one. The Japanese market alone will crash the website when this goes live. I'm like, give it to me. They'll be ordering it so fast. Why do so many feel all these so-called leaks are real and not clickbait? None have been true yet. So, what from Insider Gaming and Jeff Grubb has not come true? How inaccurate has Jeff Grubb been? He's been pretty accurate recently. You got two different leakers corroborating each other's leak. That's pretty solid. I hope it doubles as a second DualSense controller for co-op when my controller dies or my mate needs a controller. Well, that'd be pretty good. Yo, what's good? Kicking it with Timmy B. How are you? I would have zero interest in playing AAA games on the move. Yeah, everybody's different. You need one true leak to disprove that statement. Right, you just need one to come true, right? I get that people would want to play PS5 games on the go, says Frostbite, but given a choice of playing a PS5 game at home or on the go, playing PS5 at home and Nintendo on the go would be more appealing. Frostbite, here's the thing, man. I don't disagree with you. I don't. But there's a market that would say, why not both? You're creating a binary that doesn't exist in that market. What's going on? Been waiting on a release for Assassin's Creed. Do you have any info on that? AC Mirage, no info. If Ubisoft does a big thing in June, we'll likely get a release date. I think Mirage is fourth quarter this year. That's my guess. AC Red's probably late next year, if at all. And then Hexe, the mobile game's probably late this year, early next year. Assassin's Creed Jade. Jerry understands. Jerry says, all my games are on PS5. I'd rather spend the $299 than buy a Steam Deck and have to buy more games. That's exactly right. There are so many people that will not view this in a binary way of like, well, I'd rather play the Switch on the go. They're going to be like, do you mean to tell me I can play my PS5 games on the go? That's great. I'll bring them with me. Do you mean to tell me I can play Diablo 4 at work and grind? That's amazing. Do you mean to tell me that all these live service games coming from Sony I can play on the go, I can play at work? Give me that device. What if the new handheld will support games, just PlayStation mobile games? That would be smart. Could be possible. No, why would they do that? Why would they separate their ecosystem like that? They're not trying to make mobile games, they're trying to make a handheld device. You already own the PS5. You have the choice of a Nintendo or a 300 PS5, the add-on. Frostbite. Let me let you in a little secret. I already have the Switch. And tons of people in Japan already have the Switch. This is another way for them to game on the go. Think of it this way. People who are really big into console gaming or even PC gaming, they get another gaming rig sometimes so they can play with their roommate or their spouse or their significant other, right? People who console gaming, like me, I have every console. People who game on the go will view this as another needed item in their encyclopedia of ways to game. They're just, oh yeah, I have the Switch. I've been thinking about getting a PS5, and now I can get the PS5 and I can game on the go with it. The market that does gaming on the go, the market that's embraced mobile gaming, will look at this and say, this is fantastic. They'll look at it and say it's fantastic. You're creating a binary that exists for you, and that's fine. It exists for Western gamers to a certain degree, but Asian gamers, in the Asian market especially, that's a cultural thing. They're gaming on the go. This would be an amazing addition to how they game. It appeals to people who everything. I don't have a Switch, so the option for me would be to buy the Switch. Read my last comment. Geek the Sneak. Where are you in the chat? I don't see you. Oh. I travel a lot for work and can carry my gaming laptop and Switch with me, so as long as it's not a portable streaming device, I'm down. Well, it's going to do PlayStation Remote Play. And also rumors are indicating it'll do cloud as well. PlayStation Remote Play means it's literally going to turn your PlayStation 5 on, and your PlayStation 5 is going to be running the game. Because I never used their phone to stream a PS4 or PS5 game. I'm curious if you did Smart Share with a TV, because you'd then be cloud gaming on a TV, but at home, does it work? Cowboy was talking about it earlier, and he said he tried both Remote Play and Stadia at like a motel, and he said that Remote Play was just as good as cloud. He said it was fine. Won't have to wait for Ghost of Tsushima to be ported to PC. I'll just use it on the go. It works. When Microsoft, says Cowboy, when Microsoft announced that they would allow select games that you already own via Game Pass, cloud gamers went crazy for it and are still waiting for it. Sony would be giving you that with this device. Sony would be jumping in line, essentially, and saying, well, yeah, we already got that. You want a game on the go? Oh, yeah, that whole Xbox Game Everywhere thing, that's dope. Yeah, we have that too. Just buy this device. Oh, you want VR? Yeah, we got VR. Yeah, we know Xbox promised you VR. They're not even stepping into the VR landscape. We've got VR. They're hitting different sections of the market. People who want a game on the go. People who want a high-end game with a PS5. People who want to play the games on PC. People who want to get into VR. That you know what I'm saying? Ignore the Last of Us port for just a second, because it's a disaster. Let's just ignore that, because they're going to fix it, but let's just ignore that. Up to that point in time, Sony was building a good presence on PC, a very good and consistent and reliable presence. Digital Foundry had good things to say about Returnal, God of War, Days Gone runs really solid, Horizon Zero Dawn was bad, but it fixed itself, okay. That's pretty good PC presence. And then the PS5. And then the next-gen game presence. And then the next-gen breakdowns of Horizon Forbidden West and Returnal and Ratchet & Clank and God of War Ragnarok. They're looking pretty good. And then they enter the subscription model. PS Plus, I think, needs to reinvent some things that it's doing. I don't think PS Plus is where it needs to be. Love your shirt. Thank you. If you like this shirt, we're partnered with 80s Tees. You can go to 80stees.com. Use code LONO. You'll get 30% off. It's a huge discount. We're also doing a big sale on the coffee. That's mine. That's not a sponsor. This is in my house. My wife and kiddos bag it up and ship it to you. Our holiday blend is marked all the way down to $12.95, and you can get a buy two, get one free, but you got to be a member and you got to be in my Discord. I don't own any consoles bar the 360, but it's so interesting to see Xbox and PlayStation charging into their very different business strategies. Sony's being very smart, and Microsoft could also be a force. Mobile games sucks, very limited. People don't support it. Mobile games suck and are limited, and people don't support it. I gotta make sure. Oh my gosh! Did I just have a stroke? I need to read this again. Mobile games suck and are limited and oh, please don't support it. I thought you said people don't support it. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, I don't think this is a mobile game device, homie. It's a handheld gaming device. There's a difference. You ain't playing Candy Crush on this thing. You ain't playing Candy Crush. Yeah, I definitely misread what you said. I was like, oh my gosh, people don't support it? What the frick? Eugene says, I got to travel this week, but that new Last of Us faction's having a double cosmetic reward. Good thing I can remote. Yeah, think about it. Guys. Do you now know why Sony is being really protective of Call of Duty? Do you get it? It's pre-ground coffee, Chris Toast. It's pre-ground. I have to buy it in bulk. So like 500 bags show up at my house. We have it roasted, bagged, labeled, and everything by a company. And so I can't do like half the order whole bean, half the order ground. So it's all pre-ground coffee because not everybody has a bean grinder. If you're a coffee drinker, you should try my coffee at least once, and then you'll probably switch to my coffee permanently because it's balanced acidity coffee, meaning no bitterness. It's the smoothest coffee you can drink. Any flavor. And the dark roast is basically gone now. You just need to buy a PlayStation 5 and a PS Mobile instead of just having a Steam Deck. Yes, so much cheaper. I don't think it's cheaper, but I definitely think it's going to appeal to to the people who own a PlayStation 5 and want a game on the go. Now you see why Sony's like, what the frick, man? You can't take Call of Duty from us. Why? They're about to launch this device. Double XP weekend. Play Warzone on the go. Play Modern Warfare 2 on the go. That's huge. Von Raz says, you also get a very sweet message with every order. It's the best. Yeah, my wife and kiddos bag it up. So like my kids, my son is 7 and my daughter is 9. They'll draw you pictures and say thank you for your order. It'll come in the bag. I should buy some of that coffee for my wife. Freezy Pop, you're a member. Get in my Discord. If you scroll all the way down to the members only coffee room, there are codes there. You can get a you can get a buy two, get one free on the light roast or a buy two, get one free on our holiday blend. And the holiday blend's been marked down to $12.95. It's never been that cheap. Never. Drink black. I'll hit up the Discord then. Awesome. It'll be good to see you in there. It'll be good to see all you members in the Discord. No, what I meant was, says Aaron, run the PlayStation mobile games natively on the new handheld and run the Power Hungry games via the cloud. But the way they're going to keep the handheld price down, the PlayStation handheld, the price point will be kept down by not doing that. It doesn't need native power. If it's using Wi-Fi connection, cell phone connection, whatever, to run PlayStation Remote or PlayStation Cloud games, you don't need it to have strong native power. That's how it can be $299, and then it'll have great battery life. Imagine they drop this thing at $299 and can brag about the battery life and 60 frames per second. You're gonna see a lot of people say, "I'm sorry, what did you say?" $299? 8-hour battery? 60 frames per second? How are you doing that? Well, PlayStation Remote, PlayStation Cloud. Oh. Gamers on the go will be like, that's dope. They're already accustomed to playing games like this to a certain degree. Replying to that chat, Derek says, how can someone say Sony has abandoned VR? The VR 2 had more launch titles than the Series S or the X. The PSVR 2 has more launch titles than the Series X and the S. Oh, that's mean. That's mean. It's accurate though. Yo, Newtonian, welcome back in as a member. The Steam Deck has a 7-inch screen. Oh yeah, it'll also have a bigger screen than the Steam Deck. So Sony's going to get to walk out and say, bigger screen than the Steam Deck, longer battery life than the Steam Deck, unless, of course, you just purely cloud game on the Steam Deck. If you use the native power of the Steam Deck, you're not getting this battery life. Gaming on the go. All your PlayStation 5 games. Everything. Oh, all your PS Plus. Everything on PS Plus. There you go. Oh, and cloud gaming as well. All those PS3 games. Boom. There you go. Some of those games are perfect for gaming on the go. Those old classic games, they're going to look beautiful at 1080-60. Oh, yeah, and don't forget, they get to say 1080 60. How many Steam Deck games run at 30? What, all of them? I'm not slamming it, but come on. VR has no new games being made for it. It's dead. Are you serious, Clark? All those PS5 exclusive games that you can't play on the PC or the Steam Deck. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. A quick Google search shows you 20 plus games forthcoming. Yeah, I mean, some people just don't do any research. They just say stuff, right? They just say stuff. Well, I read this pro Xbox blog, and it said... And if you look closer, they're all remakes. A VR game can't be a remake. It can be an adaptation, not necessarily a remake. If you're a dev and you'd like to make your game, make a game VR, is jackpot because the library is not as big as PC or console. I see new PSVR 2 every week. I just think people are underestimating what the PSVR 2 is going to be. I don't think people understand it. I think they see the slow numbers and they're throwing confetti in there because they're tribalistic and stupid. Like, I mean that. I mean that. I hope that insult lands on them and like ruffles their feathers and then they go tweet and make videos. Like, the PSVR 2 being off to a slow start is not surprising at all. Would they make 2 million units and it's only being sold on PlayStation's site? And you're like, this same guy that said they were gonna slow down PS4 production and they couldn't make it up on PS5. The same guy that said what he said about the PSVR 2 was proven dead wrong about the stuff he said about the PS5. So you're going to a really unreliable source to throw confetti in the air and be like, we were promised VR and it's not happening, but your VR is off to a slow start. Yeah, it's a smaller market. They only made a certain number of units and it's only available on the PlayStation site. Like, what? Real in-depth market analysis there, Chief. Real good job. Only on site, NA. Yeah, no stores. Yeah, zero storefront presence. Can't even go try it out. Microsoft sold a total of 500,000 Series X's and S's in the same month, and somehow 300,000 PSVR 2s is bad. Imagine being like, look at that, a $550 luxury peripheral, and they only sold like 300,000 units. Hey, your console only sold about 500,000. It didn't even double that. Are you sure you want to brag about? Are you good? Are you good? $550 VR peripheral is nipping at the heels of your console. It's on pace to beat the PSVR 1. It'll be fine. VR is going to be a slow burn. It always would be a slow burn. You have a pricing barrier, you have the potential motion sickness barrier, you have less games barrier, you have publishers and game developers looking at it and saying, I don't know, it's a smaller market share, so we're not going to get as many sales, so that means we can only give so much money to the project because the ROI on the project's not going to be as high. It's got a lot of barriers. It's going to be a slow burn. It would sell more if it's PC VR compatible. I understand why it isn't, though. Oh, for sure. Price really is not that bad. Well, it's not bad for people who want to get into VR, but if you own a PlayStation 5, it seems expensive. It's like, wait a minute, I just got a PS5 for $500, and you want another $550? Excuse me? I just got the PS5. I just looked at a video showing all the new games coming out this year. All the comments say these aren't real VR games or this is trash. I don't know what more I can do for research. Maybe don't cite internet comments as if they're authoritative. That would be the first step in good research. You know. Hey, professor. Yes. So I was looking into this thing called quantum mechanics, and a lot of comments on the internet, they think it's bunk. What do you say? He would say that you should drop out and get your money back, is what he would say. That's not how you do research. I own a Switch, but if you're telling me I can have a game day with my buddies and play my games on my saves and not have to lug a console and a TV, where do I sign up? Yeah, you go to your bud's house. You're like, yeah, let's play some Diablo, man. Boot it up. And you just pull out your PlayStation handheld. Let's go. Or express your opinion instead of stating manufactured facts. Yeah. I'm not interested in VR. I don't think VR is that appealing. Instead, it's VR is dead. There's no games coming out. But there are games coming out. Well, now that there's data contrary to my a priori position, I have to come up with a way to denounce that information and undercut it. So instead of actually engaging in the fact that there are all these games coming out, I'm going to say, well, I found some comments on the internet that said these aren't real VR games and they're trash. Angry Joe says it's crap. That's good enough for me. He loves VR. Okay. I think the PSVR 2 is amazing as a former VR skeptic. I'm sad that I can't play it more. You're hanging out in my chat. Am I not authoritative enough? My opinion, nothing. I was a VR skeptic. Hello from Kick, says the Lord of Bacon. Hey, what's good, Lord of Bacon? I like Angry Joe. I think Joe Vargas is a really prolific, content creator. I think he does good work, but I was a VR skeptic, and the PSVR 2 convinced me. I literally wish I had more time to play it. There's so many games I want to play, and I don't have time. Lono, the Steam Index VR is sitting at 140,000 units for lifetime sales. Quest and the Rift both launched with 200,000 units in their first month. So the PSVR 2 is doing good. PSVR 1 did 900,000 in 4 months. It's great. Yeah, this is my first VR, yes. Try the dad voice. That's more authoritative. You're just trying to get all hot and bothered. I know what this is, Chapter 8. You like when I get dad voice. I know. Better be on a lunch break. You better be on a lunch break or so help me. I'm just kidding. Oh, golly. I'm trying to write emails. Lona, the only reason I wouldn't get this new device is because I've been into cloud gaming and remote play for some time, and combining my phone with a mobile controller plus my mobile data may be better. Right, like if you already have a solution to do this, you don't need this device. The launch of the Valve Index was 149,000. It's tiring. That's factually incorrect. Oh, it's so Valve Index is not sitting at 150,000 lifetime. Okay. Everything else they said seemed on point. Yell more at me, Lono. That's right. I'm not working. You have my full attention, other than whatever attention Abe gets. I suddenly feel very uncomfortable. Full attention in all caps. We have a show to do, ladies and gentlemen. I really want to try the PSVR 2 and play the Horizon game, but I don't want to invest in case I don't end up liking it. Yeah, the Horizon game was actually... I thought the Horizon game was quite good. But I also felt like... I don't know. My frustration with the Horizon game was it was just too much climbing. I got to do like one fight, and I was genuinely impressed. I was like, that was actually pretty fun. It was. I thought it was great. And then I just did nothing but climb, and I did some more climbing, and then I did some more climbing, and after I got done climbing, I had to do some more climbing. It was just Call of the Mountain should have been called Climb the Mountain, because that's all you're freaking doing. It's all your dadgum doing. You're a walking and breathing example of confirmation bias. It's a lot of money for something all the people I watch that play VR say it's awful. Yeah, that's just confirmation bias, Frostbite. There are plenty of people right now with VR channels that have sung the praises of the PSVR 2. There are plenty of PSVR 2 reviews out right now. PSVR 2 review. Just a simple Google search. You want to play the game of confirmation bias? Is that what we're going to do here? Is that what we're going to do? Oh, these are all reviews of the actual games themselves. PlayStation VR 2 review. Stress-free virtual reality. Space.com is saying... pros, stress-free setup, comfy design. They gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Awesome focus on immersion and haptics. Breathtaking visuals. Cons. It's expensive if you don't own a PS5. That's not really a criticism of the device. Limited library of games. That's not a criticism of the device. Controls and headphones have quirks. Okay, that's subjective to the user. So there, is that the game we're going to play? Are we going to play confirmation bias? We're going to play confirmation bias. Who can stack up the most? That's the first one I found, and it's a good review. You see what I'm saying? I didn't even go looking for a positive review. I just scrolled, and that's the first review of the device I found, and it's a perfectly fine review. Here's one from Wired. PlayStation VR 2 review. As impressive as it is expensive. Sounds like they're going to say similar things here. 8 out of 10. They give the PSVR 2 an 8 out of 10. Impressive eye tracking opens up new possibilities. Comfortable headset with multiple adjustments. Excellent Sense VR controllers. Default streaming TV. The thing that they say negative. $550 plus you have to own a PS5. Wow, they say the same thing. Price point. That's not a criticism of the device. Small library for now. That's not a criticism of the device. Cord tethers headset to console. Did I mention it's expensive? They don't criticize the device at all in their pros and cons. They don't have anything negative to say. It's expensive and doesn't have a ton of games. That's not a criticism of the device. Limited library, isn't that why Xbox is crap? Because it has no games? Sounds like you're projecting. I've never said Xbox is crap because it has no games. Wait until, right? Wait until. Xbox is going to be amazing. Wait until. Okay? Apply that to the PSVR 2. Wait until it gets a bigger library. PSVR 2's been out for a month, and everyone's singing its praises. Like, again, you're just playing confirmation bias. You're just playing a confirmation bias game. That's all you're doing. You've got your mind made up about it, and you're just gonna be like, well, I found reviews that said me. Yeah, that's called confirmation bias. That means listening to you is, not worth more than I've already done. We've already gone too far here. Difference is PlayStation has a record of releasing quality games. But don't you see what's happened? It's the classic batting cage BS. Oh, they've barely sold any copies of the device, the PSVR 2. Well, we knocked that down by pointing out the fact that 300,000 units in a month is pretty impressive when the Xbox Series X and S sold about 500,000. So your frigging, Xbox console is barely keeping ahead of the pace of the dadgum of the frickin' PSVR 2. Well, we got that knocked down, so what are we going to run to next? Oh, well, there's no games coming out. Well, we knocked that down. What are we going to run to next? Oh, well, all the games are bad. Oh, okay. Well, we knocked that one down. What are we going to run to next? Oh, well, this guy says it's bad. Okay, well, let's go and run to reviews that say it's good. What else you got? And just, it's just the stupid, my points get knocked down batting cage. It's like, instead of having a conversation and a back and forth, it's like, as soon as your platitudinous presumptive point gets batted down, you're like, well, let me pull out another completely unsubstantiated claim. Uh-huh. Not fair to compare an accessory to a console. How many iPhones were sold last month? What do you mean it's not fair? It's more expensive. It's more expensive and it has a limited market reach, Zubair. It's $550 and you can only buy the PSVR 2 if you already have a PlayStation 5. And yet it's literally in the ballpark of the Xbox Series S and S monthly sales. So if we're going to look at the PSVR 2 and be like, oh my gosh, it only sold 300,000 units, what in the frick's going on with the Xbox then, right? Wouldn't that be fair? It's more expensive and it requires a pre-existing piece of expensive equipment. Lono, I will tell people this device will be way cheaper than what I spend to do the same thing because I spent $2,000 on my phone, $100 on a mobile controller, so I would recommend this device. Well, especially if it's $299. That's what I think it's going to be. If you guys are just tuning in, we're covering the PlayStation Showcase 2023 predictions. We're getting stuck on PSVR 2. I actually argued in my show open that the PSVR 2 should be a part of the showcase. I really think Sony needs to establish their own VR ecosystem. They need really good first-party games, right? How much are you playing it now? Are you listening? I said multiple times in this interchange, I wish I had more time to play it. I really like it. I don't know about you. I'm really busy. I'm doing this right now, which requires show prep and research. I got an upload today about AI in gaming and AI anti-cheat. We're about to do another show where I react to a Starfield stream, and I hang out with my wife and kiddos. So excuse the frick out of me that I'm not like carving out time every day to play my PSVR 2. I wish I could. I wish I could finish Ghost of Tsushima. I wish I could get everything done in that game as well. There's no bearing on the value of the item. No, I haven't finished Ghost. I'm too busy. Literally stepped down off of my nuts. Like, that has nothing to do with the PSVR 2 and how good it is. The PSVR 2 is amazing VR, and the VR is not amazing for gaming, and that's okay. Oh, but VR is not amazing for gaming. He says, Derek, I realize you're a Sony fan and you defend the murder if Sony done it. Yeah, just more presumptive projection and immaturity. You can't talk without speaking like a caveman who's just memorized platitudes. PlayStation put out a remote play video on YouTube 8 days ago. Foreshadowing? Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Wouldn't surprise me at all if they're related. Your lack of use of the PSVR 2 convinced me not to get one. I'm already complaining about not having enough time for my current consumption. That's what I'm saying. Like, I wish I had more time to play it. It's really enjoyable. Like, I just played it the other day. PSVR 2 is nice. It's just expensive during a time financials. It also launched in like one of the slowest quarters of the year. And listen. If YouTube's acting up and that's why we're losing viewers, then you get a stay of execution. But I'm tired of folks like you coming in here and trying to hijack the conversation. It looks like YouTube was having a problem. It's like, if I'm driving viewers away by engaging with you, then you're done here. Seriously. We're literally talking about PlayStation Showcase predictions. We got this mobile handheld device that's probably coming out. We got the PSVR 2. And you want to come in here and be Mr. Xbox guy. 300K sold. Nobody's playing it. It's dead. Yeah, and so are you. Rest in peppers. The frick out of my chat. People like you don't add to the conversation. You pull it down into the dirt. So you're done. Gray name walkout. Right to the door. With the inflation, you think Sony would have had sales expectations in check. They would. 300,000 units is phenomenal. I don't even think this is based on their own expectations. It's based on one guy. It's literally based on one guy who literally made statements before He made statements before about PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 production that were flat out false. This guy is not a good, he's not a good analyst. He's done this before and been dead wrong. He's done this before. Sony literally disputed the dude's statements before, yet people believe him. Yeah, he's just another guy who's trying to grab things. It's not about being right, it's about being first. It's like Denzel said in that interview. It's not about being right. It's not about what's true. It's about being first. Whether you're trying to cancel a streamer who's better than you, or you're trying to hurt some console company that you don't like. You know, gotta be first. So you take some number and you run with some speculation like, yeah, this is really falling under projections and where they wanted to see it. Who the frick told you that? Where are you getting that? Got any internal documentation? Has Sony said anything on an earnings call? What are you basing this off of? What are you talking about? To be fair to him, it wasn't him. He was quoting Super Data or whatever. That's what I mean. It's not about what's true. It's not about what's accurate. It's about being first. Yeah, we're going to have to get off a Spectrum for the next stream. I don't want to deal with this for the next stream. Because I accidentally have us on Spectrum. It wasn't on purpose. Our next stream is going to be me reacting to a video about Starfield is hated. That's going to be our second stream of the day. It's not the number that's wrong. It's the spinning it as being poor sales. His spin is what's wrong. That's what I'm saying. He gets a number and he's like, yeah, that's it. They're just not doing well. Slow start. What are you talking about? Hope you clip that bit about the launch titles. Beat Saber, I need this. Yeah, they get Beat Saber and it's a wrap. Creature told me that. He's like, if they get Beat Saber, he's like, they won't be able to keep that thing out of my house. Butter says, one dude that paid for info from a third-party private company is in no way related to Sony or PlayStation. Yeah, get out of here. Just get all the way out of here with this crap. Cowboy says, Lona, did you play The Last of Us Factions? I didn't. It was the game I played all the time until I got into Destiny, so I think Factions 2 is going to be a big hit as a live service game. Your thoughts? It's one of the live service games that we're probably going to see at the Sony PlayStation Showcase. Because there's all these PlayStation live service games that we're supposed to be hearing about. Where are they? I think Factions is one of them. Showing some leg. What are you talking about? Come on. There. Everybody. My eyes are up here, all right? I'm comfortable. It's getting warm out. I'll start using my dad voice in this scene, and then we're in real trouble. Zubair says, I repeat, my desire for the screen to coordinate with my actual PS5. Can you imagine Returnal with an 8-inch map on your controller? Oh, wait. So you're saying you'd be playing Returnal on your TV and then have the map on your down in front of you? Is that what you're saying, Zubair? Team Shorts, says Madam. My eyes, I'm blinded. Shut up. Put them away. Here, listen. Let's get a comparison. See? It's not that bad. You know, if the coffee bag's not blinding you, then my legs shouldn't. Go touch some sun. If you touch the sun, you're gonna die. What do you mean touch some sun? You mean touch grass and get in the sun? You can't touch the sun. Finds the whitest object in existence for comparison. Hey, come on. The bag's not bothering you. Then my legs shouldn't either, you bunch of haters. It's that bad. It must be a really nice camera to keep that white balance under control. All right. Suede wins. Suede wins joke. of the day. That was a good one. That was better. The rest of y'all should really increase and improve your joke game, because that was good. That was the best one yet. 50 Shades of White. Your legs are pastier than white rice. You know what? You know what's funny? You know what's funny? If I was any other ethnicity and you guys were commentating on the lightness or darkness of my skin, it would be totally out of line. But for some reason, it's fair game on the white man. Okay, no, I understand. That's fine. That's fine. I understand. I know what's going on. It's totally fine. I get what's going on. No, we could do it. You couldn't do it, though. Well, yeah, right. But that's my point. That's my point. Chapter 8 says, I couldn't come up with a joke. My mind was too full of sin. Oh, my gosh. Wait, that was nothing short of spectacular. PlayStation Showcase will date Beat Saber, Firewall, Behemoth, and announce Half-Life calling it, plus new IP. I'm telling you, that's what I said, Shelly. We need PSVR 2 games. I think they need more than just PSVR 2 games like Beat Saber. I think they need first-party games. Homie, y'all have run the world for thousands of years. Let us minorities have fun. I've not run anything for 1,000 years, all right? Still say I'm not afraid of you. I know how to cancel you in 2 years. Yeah. That one time he showed his legs on stream, it made me so uncomfortable. Well, not at the time. I thought it was funny, but 2 years later, when I saw an opportunity to hurt him, yeah, I'm suddenly uncomfortable now. 2 years later. There's no statute of limitations on feeling uncomfortable, so I can be retroactively uncomfortable. Shut the frick up. You can make any jokes you want now. You already got canceled once. It's double jeopardy. You're safe now. No, you can't watch that. You can't watch any X-rated stuff on the PSVR 2 because it's not PC compatible. You say PSVR 2 Half-Life. Somebody in the YouTube chat is saying they think that's coming. They think that the PlayStation Showcase 2023, that's what's going to happen. Can I get 23 more likes on this video? Get us to 400 likes. Get us to 400 likes. We're going to be switching gears here in a little bit. To the Starfield stream. I think I'm set up for it. I am set up for it. Okay, perfect. Astrobot's next game is bound to be PSVR 2. What are the first-party games you think would be VR compatible? Twisted Metal, Killzone? I don't know. They're going to have to grab... They might have to do remakes. I don't know. You need remakes, and they can't be third-person games. You know what I mean? If we don't see Lono wear a cowboy hat in 2023, we riot. I used to do a character called Hillbilly Jack, and he wore a cowboy hat. Can't watch X-rated content on the PSVR 2, but you can watch Lono on YouTube. That's right, and see plenty of thigh. That's right. Yo, good morning, Johnny. Johnny Olivo. Has third-person VR been tried? Does that work? I don't know. I think it would be weird. Sony needs to hold their PSVR 2 titles over Valve's head and say, you're not getting any till you sign the contract saying we are getting Alex. Maybe. I don't know if Sony wants to do that. Selling a PSVR 2 at $550 and then you start throwing the games on Steam? I don't know. I want City Skylines in VR. I'd pay money for play that. The OG Astrobot and Moss, not really third person, over the shoulder. So Moss was in third person. How well did Moss get reviewed as a VR game, though? There are third-person VR games. Yeah, but do people like them? Stay a while and peep some thigh. White meat's the best meat. Because Valve will care. You guys are delusional. Valve will care about what you mean. My question is not about Valve. My question is about PlayStation. Is Sony going to want their PlayStation titles on non-PlayStation VR devices? The PSVR 2, those games are made and optimized for the PSVR 2. Do you think they're going to want to port that to Steam? I don't know if they're going to want to do that. I don't know. That stands to dilute it a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying? White meat's absolutely not the best. Maybe we could finally have a Half-Life sequel. Listen, you guys that are watching on the Tickety Talk, you need to go to my profile and watch on YouTube. We're going to be switching gears in a little bit to a Starfield reaction stream. I'm going to be watching a video about Starfield is hated. I'm going to be reacting to it. Should be a good time. I also have an upload coming later today about AI in gaming. It's a series that we started. Today is going to be about AI anti-cheat. All right? So if you're watching on the Tickety Talk, the stream will end on the mobile device, and you're going to have to click on my profile, okay? And then come to YouTube and watch there. You guys that are watching on YouTube, you don't have anything to worry about. We're not ending yet. I just wanted to end that stream so I could have my phone back. Oh, shoot. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I was like, the little button. My Mophie case. Daggone. Like, my Mophie case, the power button, it came loose, but all you got to do is, like, have it in there when you put the phone in, and it'll stay in place. And I continually drop it. It's a real pain in the butt. Starfield is hated? Yeah. Yeah, this guy made a really, really great video about Starfield is hated. So here's what's going to happen. I am going to switch the internet very quickly. You're going to get a bunch of blips. We have a concept of what the device is going to look like, all right? They have a concept on Insider Gaming of what the device is going to look like. Let me show you guys this before we switch. I'm going to switch internet, and you're going to get a bunch of blips. I want to do that before we switch streams. Starfield's not hated. Cool, don't watch then. Let's see here. Discussion's over that fast. Neat. Disclaimer, this is not a real... Yeah, this is just a concept. There you go. Let me do this. Hang on. That's the concept they're drawing up. So they're saying that it's going to kind of look like a PS5 DualSense, and there's going to be a screen in the middle. And it says here, not official imagery. I should probably show that down here, right? Here, hang on. Not official image. Insider Gaming concept. Thank you, Tommy Hendy, and whoever made this. So there you go. There you go. That is what's going on there. I think it looks pretty cool. Thanks, I hate it. No one asked you, Abe! Okay. So, give me 1 second here. I'm going to change the thumbnail on this stream to no longer say live. Sony could be planning a PlayStation mobile controller, patent suggests. Yeah, there was also a patent about a mobile controller that looks really similar to that concept that we just looked at. So, okay, listen, you guys might have to refresh. You're going to get a bunch of blips. Do me a favor before these blips happen. Smash that like button. We need 11 more likes. Maybe give some members. I owe you 5 members. I'll give them to you in the Starfield stream. If we hit 50, I'll owe you 10 members. Give me 1 second. Okay, we're back. You're probably going to need to refresh. It'll cause blips. It'll cause more blips. There'll be almost like an initial big one, and then there'll be some like almost like aftershocks. While all that's happening, I'm gonna go use the restroom. I will be right back. You guys see that God of War Ragnarok just launched New Game Plus? It's got like new level cap, some spear. You can have the spear from the beginning. Yeah, looks good. Okay, let me switch the featured video. Open the premiere without me clicking on it? I mean, the premiere is not even scheduled yet, so you must have been yesterday's premiere. Or did it take you to the Starfield stream automatically? Yeah, new armor, level cap, enchantments. Yeah, they literally just announced it. So, I obviously can't do anything with it. I don't know if we'll even do a show on that. That might be an upload for the other channel. Just like a quick read through of everything going on. Hang on. Hang on, I gotta add the original video to the description. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, I'm going to put an announcement in the Discord. And then if redirect typically doesn't work for you guys, I'll put a link in chat. Just give me 1 second. I have to make sure this guy's video is going to come through. Hang on, I'm going to turn down just in case. Okay, it's coming through. Okay. I'm going to change the stream title over here. Oop. Starfield is hated. Reaction. Okay. Right. Let me send out a tweet. The concept image is beautiful. I mean, dude, I would love a device like that. You know what I'm saying? Starfield is hated. Reaction. No. Oh, dadgummit. Send the tweet. I clicked out of the box. Clicked out of the box and it was like, oh, you're done? I was like, no, I'm not done. My only option was to save it. Send that. Bam. I don't like the show open to have all this stuff on it. Gotta make sure my hair's not all pushed down by my freaking headphones. Okay. How can a game that hasn't been released yet be hated? Well, that's what we're going to talk about. That's what we're going to talk about. Guys, do me a favor, all right? Do me a favor. I need you to treat this new stream like you're a cheerleader for it, all right? When we all get over here with the redirect, I need you to smash the like button. If the redirect doesn't work, it'll be the featured video on my channel, or just click the link in chat and head over there now. Smash the like button. Brand new stream. We're going to be reacting to a video that I thought was very well done, talking about Starfield is hated. This is why, okay? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. Here at Reforge Gaming, reacting to a video called Starfield is Hated. This is why. Be sure to check out the original video linked below, as well as the YouTuber. His name is Light. You can click on his name in the description or the original video. We like to do reaction-style live streams like this, so it'll be pretty long form. I dialogue with chat while I'm reacting to the video. So I'm not saying Starfield is hated. I've actually spent a lot of time defending the game and how it looks and looking forward to it. My primary concern has been performance. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you like this kind of content so you don't miss it. I'm going to end the previous stream. We did a PlayStation Showcase expectation stream.